Yeah, I claim that gods are hiding. And you said, oh, you think there are many gods? I don't know. If there are many gods, I think all of them are hiding. What do you think?
Mhm. So I just wanna know your faith. Are you an atheist or monopoly?
I'm an atheist, agnostic atheist.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
but still, you think there are gods? I mean, hidden gods,
No,
or
I
there
said,
could be.
no, I think you didn't listen clearly. I said, if
Mhm.
there are gods, all of them are hiding.
Okay. Mhm.
What about you?
Yeah, I believe in only one God.
You believe in only one god. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Which one?
We call him Allah.
You call him Allah.
Yeah.
Okay. You call him Allah.
So I
And
think you're in between. So you're an atheist, but you said if there are gods, so there could be. There is a place. There is a room for
yeah,
gods
there's a
in
room.
your.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you say yes?
Yeah, I said yes. I have bigger rooms than the believers. For example, you believe in only one God, right? And
Yes.
maybe there are many gods. So I have more rooms than you have for any other gods.
No, I have no more room left. I mean, all is filled with only one God, with one belief.
All is, but still, it's one room for me.
Okay, yeah. So according to you, if there are gods or if there is a God, so now you're losing, right? You're as an atheist,
As an atheist, I'm doing what exactly?
you're losing. You're losing in this life,
I'm sorry, I don't
right?
understand what you mean.
I mean, if so, according to your opinion, if there are gods, you're an atheist. You're not. You're against gods. I mean, right now, so you're losing. You're on the wrong side. There is a
Oh,
chance you're on the wrong
oh,
side,
but
right?
if there are many gods, you're also in the losing side, probably. Depends on the gods, but so it's
No,
like
no, no,
imagine there are
because
many
there is
gods.
no
Wait, wait, wait,
if.
wait, stop. You can't say no. If there are many gods, what is the difference between you and me? Just one god, right? Imagine there are
Yeah, can I
100
speak?
gods,
Yeah, can I speak?
and you are rejecting 99 gods, and you think that
Yeah,
you'll be way better than me?
yeah. Once you're done, just say over, and
You
I'll
you can
start speaking.
understand when I am over easily. Yeah, you see, when I go silent, that
Can I
means I'm
speak?
done.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I tried several times. So you are not on one side. You're an atheist, and but you're saying if there are gods, and I'm only on one side. There is one God. There is no if. There cannot be 100 gods. There cannot be zero gods. It's only one place. There is no if for me. So, but for you, there is an if. You know?
Yeah. And I don't care about what you believe because you're saying that, oh, for me, there's only one God. That doesn't mean there's only one God. You can be wrong. Maybe that there are many gods, or maybe there is no God. You can be wrong. You just believe that there is only one God. That doesn't mean there is only one God. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not pushing my belief onto you. So I'm saying
It's okay.
you are in between. So you have not chosen only one side. So
I
that's what I'm
didn't
saying.
choose any sides technically because if someone comes here and says, you know what, definitely there's no God, I will say, wait a second. Can you be sure about that? How do you know that? As I said, the topic is hidden gods. What if there are gods and that they are hiding all the time? So
So
I'm
do you
not
have
on
any
any side.
knowledge to debate on this topic? Do you study religions? Do
Does
you
it
know
matter
anything
for
about
you
religion?
if I say no? Are you
Okay.
gonna leave the chat?
No, no.
Then
I
why
just
you're
wanna
asking?
know how skillful you are.
Oh, for that maybe you should check my YouTube channel first, and maybe you can
Okay.
decide, or maybe
So
you can
it
just
takes a
keep
couple days, right?
discussing.
No, I mean I see there is nobody other than me talking here, speaking here.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. Yeah, but if we go back to the who is losing, I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe you're losing. Maybe I'm losing. Maybe we both are losing. So you don't know. Or maybe no one is losing anything, even if there are gods.
Oh, so if there are no gods, how come you're here? The whole existence,
It's a question.
the science. You say science, right?
Forget the science. Fuck the science. Okay. Like
Yeah.
how we are here if there are no gods is just a question. It's not an argument.
And you got an answer, right?
If I say there is Juju who created Allah, you don't
Juju?
believe in that. Yeah, Juju, a creator, a
What is
mystical
Juju?
creator. A mystical creator that even Allah doesn't know. If I say that, so explain to me
Yeah.
if Juju doesn't exist, how come Allah exists?
So is Juju a name of another god, another ilah?
You can call it God because Juju is a creator. It's a mystical creator who created Allah. And as I said, even Allah doesn't know that. Allah thinks that He's all knowing. And this is false because He doesn't know that there is Juju. So Juju created Allah. But my question is, explain to me, like, how Allah exists if Juju doesn't exist? You see, you're
So
asking me the same question. Explain to me how you exist,
yeah.
how
So
this
you
universe
say it.
exists
You
if Allah
say it.
doesn't
Allah
exist.
is all. If Allah is all knowing, you say so. How come?
No, I didn't say that.
Or
I claimed
yeah, he
Allah is not
thinks
all
he's all
knowing because
knowing.
yeah, he thinks that he's all knowing, but he's false.
It's like Allah created everything. Who created Allah? That's a question of
Exactly.
atheists.
Yeah. So the Juju God is just hiding. He's hiding way better than Allah, Jesus, and other gods. Because they don't know, right? Allah doesn't know the Juju. He thinks that he's the only one. There's no one else.
Yeah. So I'm not. I do not have too much knowledge to debate. So I ask these questions to know your opinion,
Okay.
and now I pretty much know it. Yeah.
It's okay. If there is anyone else who wants to talk about hidden gods here, let's hear. Many people, many silence. Too much silence.
Bro, you know that you are the god.
You know that you are the God. Why should I call myself God?
Because you are, bro.
Okay, if I say you are a butterfly, why? Because you are a butterfly.
No,
That
bro.
makes any
Like,
sense?
I have no wings, bro.
Okay, I don't have magical powers, bro.
Who said like God has magical power, bro? Like,
Who said God doesn't have magical powers? You say. And who is God according to
first
you?
of all, who is God, bro?
Yeah, God is, if you check the religions, he's a powerful, intelligent being who created this universe, even
you're
created
right.
an afterlife. So this is God in many religions.
So,
And
who,
I have
like,
never
who
seen
created
I have never
religion? Like,
seen I have never seen any religion say that, hey, you know what? Humans are gods.
You're right. And I agree with you.
but who created religion? Like, human basically created that religion which you're talking
Um,
about.
Definitely, yeah. Do you see animals creating religions? No. Only humans are creating things.
How we know, bro? Like, we don't know their voice, how they talk. Like, if they have any religion.
There are other religions? What do you mean?
No, like even animals also have their own religion. We don't know, bro.
Have. So if you don't know, how can you claim that they have?
Like we cannot say like they have no religion. They can have.
Yeah. You
They
just claimed
have
yourself, right? There is Jojo. You just claim something you don't know. Something doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, maybe you also claim Allah something doesn't exist.
Plausible.
He exists. There are holy books,
Juju exist.
and
Like
you cannot
but
I
you know,
contradict.
don't
holy
have a
books
holy
are
book.
written by a by a
Plausible.
human being.
Plausible.
Yeah, AJ,
Ah, sorry, brother. I have some question to ask you.
you have a question, okay?
Bro, first stop watching
The
Shinchan,
question
bro.
is that how to start overthinking about which thing doesn't exist?
Come again?
How to stop overthinking on which thing doesn't exist?
How do you stop thinking about something which doesn't exist?
Yeah.
How do you stop thinking about what's that thing you want to stop thinking?
No, just I want to know that. How to stop? How can
I don't
I?
know.
But bro, like you overthink, bro.
No, just I want to know that. How can you handle and how
Just
can
bro,
or
like
I'm sorry, man. This is not our topic, okay? So if you have an overthinking problem, you should find, proper places to get an answer for that. I don't have an answer for that, okay?
but bro, like overthinking created by some sort of fear. So you
This
need
is
to
not the
like just
topic, Arjun, as I said. Do you
yeah,
hear, man? Do you hear?
yeah, bro, you're right.
Okay, man. This is not a psychology room. Come on. It's philosophy room.
You're right. So what is your opinion on those Hindu gods?
Like what?
Have you read books related to
No, I
like those
don't.
Vedas? So what's your opinion on the Hindu religion?
I don't see big difference.
Like they all are same.
I can't say the same, but they're very similar. We don't find good evidence for their claims. They
But
just
if
claim
something is
things.
too old, like instead of all things, we can believe on that particular one. If that religion is too old as compared to everyone,
If something is too old,
like
doesn't make it true.
as compared to other religion.
Yeah, but it doesn't make a difference. Even it makes it more ambiguous because all the older, then more ambiguous it becomes because you know time changes a lot of things.
Hmm. Bro,
And
there
people
is.
can interpret more and more if it exists more.
So bro, you are atheist and agnostic from very beginning of your childhood, or you were
Doesn't
religious
matter.
before?
Doesn't matter. Hey man, welcome, John.
Yep, thanks.
You had any good debates so far? Allow me. Okay, maybe he's a god commenting like this.
Yeah, he's the god, bro.
Allowed you, dear God. This is your first fucking question?
Yeah.
Okay, bye bye. Okay, John has a technical problem, as we see. Okay. So, yeah, I see that internet problem. Hidden gods.
So bro, do you believe in free will?
That's also not one of the topics here, man.
We can talk on that particular thing.
But particular topics, so your god is hiding for some purpose. Okay, what do you think is the purpose?
So, bro, like if there is
Oh,
no
maybe.
God, if there is no God, so
Uh,
like why we have some sense, bro?
Why we have what?
Sense,
What do you
like
mean sense?
what is right? Like for example, if rape is wrong or right, we have some sort of sense that it is wrong.
Okay. So you think that it comes only from God?
Or like who give that some sort of sense to
We
us?
humans. We humans in our biology, we feel the pain. If I slap you on the face or if I throw boiled water on your face, you wouldn't say, "Oh, thank you." Okay? So the things that
And where
we
it
do
came
not
from?
desire, the things that we get pain, we say no. Okay? No, we say
And
wrong.
where it came
Don't.
from? All these feelings.
What came from?
Yeah, even the
Uh,
biology, the formulas, everything.
okay, yeah. Where it came from? Explain to me the mercifulness, the being all knowing, being powerful. Where all that came from to God, to your Allah.
So yeah, you're giving my question back. I asked this
I'm
question
giving
to
your
you.
question back because you're assuming that it was given by your God. That's why I'm just
No, I'm not
showing a
assuming. I'm
mirror.
asking. So I
Yes,
want to
you're
learn something new.
asking. I don't know the answer of all those questions, okay? And I'm so honest. I say
So
I
what
don't
is the meaning of
know.
having these conversations? And you have no knowledge in any
But
subject, right?
showing that you guys are have assumptions, okay? Then maybe that's one of my purposes. Many people have only assumptions, okay? And they're not honest. They're not saying I don't know, or they're not comfortable to say that I don't know. And I don't like that. And I want to show this to other people. Maybe some people will say, "Oh, wait a second. Yeah, it seems like an assumption. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that." You see how easily I can assume the things and I can ask the same questions to you and you will say no. You will just say no.
So, bro, you are an atheist,
I'm an atheist, yeah.
and so you are saying like we came from some non-living organism.
If not, then how
From
people
monkeys.
believe. Yeah, we have imagination. You rush. Like how people created unicorns, how people created Thor, how people
Like
created other things, many other things. We have imagination. Okay.
we say like the religious person will say like they are created by God. What you will say like we came from like
Come again?
from, from where we came then like according to you.
Where we came. What do you mean we? Humans?
Yeah,
From
humans.
this planet?
Yeah, and like there is some sort of particular thing who created that human.
Why do you think that someone created humans?
So like according to you, so it is self-created.
I didn't say that. Like you are saying that humans are created, and now I'm asking you, how do you know that we are created? I'm the one who doesn't know, and I want to learn. Okay, so you assume that humans are created.
Yeah,
Why do you think so?
there is some sort of things are created like then how like self.
You're mumbling, man. Like, give me the answer. How do you know that humans are created?
Yeah, bro, like there's some sort of power who created something.
My question was, how do you know that? And you're not answering. You see, you're still mumbling. You see, you don't have an answer. Just say, I don't know, man. Isn't that simple when you don't know something? And why we assume when we don't know?
And bro, there is some sort of point from where something starts. Like for example, you are racing. You
And
race from a particular like from a particular thing.
so what?
So I'm just asking that thing. Like there is some point from where all this existence
Oh, so there must be a
started.
point for God also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and there must be a creator for God also.
we cannot say like someone created someone, then it's like infinite loop, bro.
But
Like,
you said that we are created by someone. Then why the hell you create the infinite loop? You are the one who is creating the infinite loop, not me. Just say we don't know and we have never been created. We just exist in the nature by some natural processes, but we don't have a creator. Why not?
yeah, we can
I-
say that.
if someone else can exist without any creator, which is a god for many believers, okay, that means someone can exist without a creator. Okay, why not? That someone is not humans. Why not?
If there is no God and there is no afterlife, we don't have any idea that is there any afterlife or what. So a person can do anything in their life,
No,
like what they want.
it depends. If you care about your life, then you can't do everything that you want. For example, if you care about your well-being, you cannot go and kill people. You can't start to do that even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in afterlife, because you'll be in the jail. Most likely you don't want to be in the jail. That's why you don't do those things. Or you cannot go and hit on the people on the street because they will hit you back and it will hurt you, right? So you see, even if there's no God, you can't do many things. If you commit a crime, there will be a punishment for you, either from the laws of your country or the people will punish you. They will start punishing you.
But do you believe this is because of law of nature? This thing is happening.
Doesn't matter. Like you can't put God there. That's important. So you see, like if we don't think about God or afterlife, still there are a lot of things that are limiting us.
But there are some like rare case scenario where someone who had a good knowledge of stealing something, and he is so good that no one knows what he is stealing and earning good money in his life. So according to you, is there any particular law of nature who will give him bad deeds
Um,
according to his own karma?
I don't think. I mean, sure, there will be a lot of crimes that have never been punished and won't be punished. So what?
So we can say that like there is no karma.
I don't believe in karma. But if you are really annoyed by the fact that some people will go, whatever they wanted, whatever they did, there won't be punishment. If you're not okay with that, maybe you should study some fields that can prevent such kind of crimes if you're annoyed by that. Because justice systems are not perfect. There are always people who get, you know, free of what they do, right?
Yeah.
And that's sad for many people. For example, for you, it's so sad, and you wish that there was a karma or there's an afterlife, a god who punishes those people because you couldn't do your job well on earth, right? We humans fail all the time. Well, when it comes to justice, we humans fail, right? That's why we wish. That's why people wish that there is a god and punish those people.
Basically, humans are uh, really wants that there is God. If there is no God, then they can do anything
Yeah,
to
but
earn
I
money.
explained that's not true, right?
They can go to any state to earn what they want. For example, if I say you like there is no God, there will be no karma, and there will be no afterlife. Then you can commit like severe crimes in your life, and you don't give a fuck about anyone. And do what you want. You do a lot of murders, a
Yeah,
lot of.
that's the problem, man. Like, do you think that the atheist people don't care about anyone?
Oh, I'm saying like if someone is too like they don't believe in anything, they can do
Hey, man,
what they want.
yeah, well,
They don't fear
what you're
anyone.
saying is so senseless. There are believers who believe in karma or afterlife. They also do severe crimes, right? They rape, they steal money, they do everything that you imagine. Okay, they do.
Ye- Yes.
Eh. So it's not up to the belief in God. Yeah, maybe when people believe in afterlife or those, punishments that will come in afterlife, maybe they do less crimes. I cannot say religions are not helping. Okay, I can say that. But when people stop believing in those things, that doesn't mean they automatically do everything. Okay.
But you cannot deny that if there is some sort of things created like as a god, the more people like fear to do crimes.
Well, what about this? If we make our justice system way better, okay, then people also commit less crimes, maybe no crimes at all. Imagine we use machines to prevent crimes. Imagine there are drones everywhere, or let's say like we have it right now. For example, we have panic buttons, right? Even as an
Yeah.
app on the phone. Imagine it works perfectly. Like you just
Hmm.
push a button and voila, like there's a drone flying by you. Okay, it can even
Yeah.
prevent you, maybe those electrical things, maybe it will stop you to do something immediately. Sure, that doesn't mean zero crimes, but imagine in the future we use technology to prevent crimes. Or imagine
And if we can do that,
imagine your smartwatch. When your heartbeats goes up, there's a machine appearing immediately next to you, just checking what's going on. Are you okay? Like there's a problem with your health, or maybe you're under a threat. That's why maybe your heartbeat, went up. So imagine such kind of scenarios where, and also imagine the punishment part or the way that we handle the crimes. We improve. We can, and we did. So it will also decrease the crimes, and I think it's more effective than the religions to say, oh, you know what, when you die, there will be hellfire. Oh, really? So which one is more convincing? Something that already exists there, which is a very good functioning system, or stories told by people for thousands of years? I think
which
it's
exists.
better to use the tools that we have. I mean, I was talking about the hypothetical scenario where we use technology to prevent crimes. So
Yeah,
when we have
that's
it,
also good.
okay, you say, okay, like there are cameras every fucking where, and people will stop. But if you say, oh,
Hmm.
angels are watching you, many people, even believers, they will say, fuck off.
But what's your opinion on those people who say like they have the memory of their like before life? Is they all are fake?
Most likely.
Like they have some sort of hallucination?
Most likely, maybe they are having dreams that they cannot differentiate between, reality and the dreams. Maybe they think that it's also real. We haven't. We don't have good evidence for reincarnation, man.
Hmm.
It's not convincing, and it seems very cultural also.
So like there is a book you haven't heard of in Hindu religion. There is a book named Ramayana. So in this book there are so many places written like where the god like there is a god in Hindu religion who goes various places and there are like same places even today.
Yeah, we gave this example yesterday, and by the way, I have a video about this. The Adams Bridge, right? Ramayana.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, I have a video about that. It's very simple, man. Very simple example. I will give you.
But they don't have that technology at that time when they
Fuck the
wrote this.
technology. Just listen to me. If in the future, people when they look at you know our movies, okay, Like they will see Spider-Man, Iron Man, and many other characters, right? And they will
Yeah.
see cities, real cities, New York, you know, or other places on Earth, and 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 they will also see those places in the future. When they see those places, do you think that it's enough evidence to claim that Spider-Man was real?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's the same fucking thing. Like, just because you find a bridge, by the way, it's not even probably a bridge, okay? People think that it might be a bridge, probably it's something natural, but anyway, even if it's not, it doesn't explain that the other stories are true. Sure, there will be places which existed,
For
okay?
example, in that book, it is also written like there is a underwater city which is founded by the like founded by some people that it exists in this year.
Yeah, and we have such kind of things. Like,
Like how
we
they know at that time that they had some underwater city.
maybe it was not underwater city. Maybe it was just a fucking city, and water came.
Yeah,
It
it
happens.
was a fucking city. Yeah, it got.
It happens all the time. Water comes and cities are under the water, and people know about those things. And now it's an underwater city. So what?
Just they said like they got some sort of like.
Like what?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, they're saying like some god have like punished by some other one, and that city got flooded. In this book, that written like that city got flooded
Yeah.
because of some god's punishment.
So what?
And like in 2 to 3 years before that city got founded under the water. So many
Mhm.
people say like that story was true.
Yeah. Did you hear the example that I gave you, man?
Yeah, you're
When we
right. Yeah,
find
yeah.
those cities, that doesn't mean Iron Man was real or Spider Man was real. When they
Mm.
find, let's suppose, like 1,000 years later, they found United States, and they will say, "Oh, wait a second! So that means Captain America must be
You are right. You are
real."
right. Yeah, you're right. That's good argument.
We don't create stories from zero always. We use the things that we know already, right? Places or people. We use those things in our stories also. So just because you find a match, that doesn't mean the whole story is true.
For example, bro, like the person who created that light. So why that same person got born after so many years and he invented that light? Is there any purpose sent it by someone
What?
from
What?
like for example, there was no light before. There was some person or
There was
I
no
forgot his name.
light before. I don't understand what you're saying right now.
No, I'm saying like there was no light like electricity before.
Oh,
Okay.
electricity. Okay.
Yeah, light. Sorry, like bulb or somewhat like that. So like the nature like gave some person born in that particular family and educated in some what way, so he invented that bulb, that person.
And
So you can say like God sent. You can say like Elon Musk. He's preparing to go to Mars.
and
So you can say like God, or even what sort of power is there? Something which is preparing to like grow after sending some person like after years to year to establish the whole world.
well, what's the evidence for God here?
What, bro?
The evidence for God in this example, I didn't understand.
So God gave them some sort of wisdom or some
God
sort
gave
of
them some
like
sort of wisdom. Hey, man, to be able to make such a statement, first you have to prove God exists. Then you have to prove that God gave wisdom to some people. If you
like
can't do that, you can't claim those things. Okay?
they're born in that particular family
Okay, people
And
are
they
born
got
in particular. All people are born in particular families. All people.
yeah, you are
What?
right. So we will not get any argument, like any good source of having a god.
Okay, so yeah, we come to the same point. Probably God is
Have you
hiding.
have you debated with anyone who is like enough knowledge, like who is religious, too religious? He knows a lot of things on YouTube channel.
You mean a YouTuber?
Or yeah, a YouTuber or someone who had
Uh,
a great knowledge of religion.
the what do you mean by great knowledge? Debating isn't about great knowledge. You should know that.
No, like there is some person I debated with some religious person. He knows a particular evidence of that thing which linked with God. Like I am saying regarding those cities and
Maybe
all.
you should study from them.
And I was watching the AI debate also.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but since I'm still an atheist, that means no one convinced me.
Have you debated with AI?
I know. Okay, Arun versus Arjun. Okay.
So do you say that you like you don't uh, like know religion and don't
Yeah.
want to be religious in those Muslim countries?
I don't
Like you are
understand what
not
you're
religious.
saying.
Like if someone is if you're atheist, so can you exist in Muslim country?
If you're an atheist, can you exist in a Muslim country? Why not?
I think they don't like atheists.
Okay, so they kill them or what?
Yeah, yeah, they kill them.
They actually killed them.
Okay, okay. Like,
By the way, I'm an atheist that lives in a Muslim country.
oh, so we're talking to a ghost right now?
No, didn't find out.
No, just be careful, man.
No, it's not gonna be a big problem.
Not gonna be okay. Dying is not a big problem. Okay, I mean, who am
Well,
I
in
to
my
judge?
country, other Muslim countries, they will be like killed immediately. But here, like, yeah, they won't do that much. I think I won't do anything at all. Would they?
Don't go out on the street and say, "Hey, I don't
Yeah,
believe in God. I don't believe in God. Come here. We're
yeah, they
gonna
would do
don't do
something
that.
if I did something silly like that. You mean?
Yeah,
That's
you're
what I
right.
mean.
Don't be silly,
You know,
man."
If someone will
like
say
if
I'm
I'm just
transgender, they will kill them.
yeah, if I'm just in the street and someone asked me, "Hey, let's go to pray," this Azanus came, and I told him, "No, I don't pray. I'm an atheist. Nothing will happen."
Yeah, you're
Uh,
right.
and by the way, they don't kill trans people here though. Kill.
Ooh,
Uh,
There
there's
is
no
nothing we
actually
don't
a
not think
written
about.
law. There's no a written law that says that those people should be killed or atheists should be killed or such a thing, you know. But it's still, Muslims are evil. They do everything everywhere.
okay, guys. I'm gonna recreate the room so that we may have fresh people.
Okay.
I hope we don't have problem with topics today because yesterday we. Oh, fuck! I just said it, and now we have problem. I can't put title.
This prefer talk thing is bullshit.
That's because you are against God.
Really. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Yeah, I cannot create.
He's a believer, maybe.
Oh, Abhishek.
He's, he got offended of your topics.
Okay.
One of my friends got banned before just because having a rainbow flag on his profile picture. So the owner is also homophobe. So
Okay. No titles. That's weird. Maybe it's because I try to create the same topic.
That will be great.
No, it's not because of that. Problem is, why the hell he wants to use AI for generating topics? How can you be free for talk if you can't even free to choose the topic that you want?
yeah, I sent him an email before complaining about that.
He
I was
doesn't
like,
care.
what the hell is freedom of speech happens? You know, you don't get to speak about LGBTQ. You don't get to speak about God. You don't get to speak about anything.
And you are
Only what he
free
likes,
to
which is the
talk.
dictatorial system. He's a dictator.
Nope, I can't create. I cannot create. That's not good.
Did you made it?
No, I couldn't. Why? I cannot create. Recent purchase. Oh,
Oh, bro, if there is nothing, then what's the purpose of our life?
I think it's up to you. You cannot decide it by yourself?
No, bro, I
No?
don't know. But there is something like someone is born in some family for some purpose.
They're born for some purpose. Probably that purpose is given by their parents, right?
Yeah, you're right. they fucked with each other, so we get born.
Yeah,
So, what's your purpose then?
I have
So, you,
different purposes, but they are irrelevant, man. Okay, I got tired of trying. I'm not able to create.
Why? Just put the same topic.
It doesn't allow me to create any topic.
Hidden Gods live. Wait, I'm gonna try. Paste and try. AI exceeded. The
Yeah,
AI controller is busy. Please try again later. I'll try to join the group without a topic. AI is busy.
look at
I
those
don't know.
topics: home renovation projects, learning a new language, volunteering experiences,
these are
impact of
bullshit,
community,
bro.
favorite musical artists.
Not like that.
This guy is, I don't know, what is he trying to do?
I think he's upgrading his app. Bro, have you done psychedelics before? Like LSD or something like that?
Valentin, can you create? That's the problem. And
Great,
I
bro.
think the
Valentine, bro.
problem is when you transfer the room, I believe the topic disappears.
Hey,
Oh, we can
Valentine, go
try.
ahead.
Yeah,
Philosopher, have you tried LSD?
if you try transferring, the topic will disappear.
Yeah, that's what I said. It disappears.
So did he was able to create it? Was he able to create
I'll recommend you a channel.
it? We should boycott this shit. So he learned that we need to be free.
It's boring. Let me try this. Oh, I cannot create. Hey, Valentin, did you create?
This shit.
I cannot create. I'll quit. It's the same problem, man. Yeah, we cannot create. It's a big problem. Anyway, I will just create. I will just create without the topic. What? Wait a second. It's not fair. That's not fair. What's the day today? You see? Why the hell? Anyway,
It might happen here. It's loading for a long time.
it's 26.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
What if I created a room without a topic and then like put a topic?
Okay. I think you're not able to put the topics.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna create a room without a topic here and join. No, I'm not gonna join. Just edit group and paste. Hitting gods, isn't it? Hitting gods. Yeah, not working. Here, and this, and this. Okay.
Wait a sec. It's incomplete. Come on. But that's so weird. When we are discussing here, no one is watching. When there's silence, there were 7 people I've seen. Uh, people love the silence, I think. Okay. Now we fixed that problem. We have to fix another problem. Okay. Let's try it again. No, it's not working. I hate that. I hate that. Okay, I'll try something else. Oh, no.
It's still not working?
No, it's not working.
Trying to find people that.
I will recreate somehow. Oops. Okay, more problems. Why?
What happened?
I was trying to change the profile picture here.
Here,
Yeah,
but you can't change that from Google, not from here.
you're sure I'm doing it through Google, but now it doesn't allow me to do.
But Google doesn't allow you to do anything.
No. Oh, okay, now it's okay. I thought it doesn't allow me to because I'm changing it a lot.
Okay. I got penned for my profile picture before.
You got banned.
Yeah, here on Free Photos.
What was that?
The same profile picture.
For this profile
changed it.
picture, you got banned?
Yeah, and I got banned for 24 hours, and because it's violence. It shows violence.
I don't see it, but
Me neither.
no. I don't see your profile picture.
Oh,
I see a man sitting on some stairs.
yeah,
Something
that's
like
my
that.
profile picture.
Okay, and where's the violence?
I don't know.
You're crazy.
This dude is just dictator. I just told you. He just bans whatever he wants.
It's not about being dictator, man. Like, there's no any sense in that.
What's wrong? Muted.
Okay. Oh, okay. I created. I'm jumping. Hi. Oh man,
Everybody,
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. You said the linguistic atheist. Atheist. What does linguistic means?
Agnostic.
Agnostic. What does it mean?
Agnostic means you don't know whether God exists or not.
Okay. Agnostic.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what agnostic means.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it took a lot of time to create this room, man. It's weird. We struggle a lot. Oh, Russia will come back.
We need to straighten out here.
Hey, man. Well, what did you say?
Who do we need to straighten out here?
Do we need to what?
Straighten out.
Oh,
You know what that means?
nope.
set them on the correct course, fix their silly ideas.
Oh, people are free to join, but they're not that much free to stay as long as they want. But yeah, they can spend a lot of time. Depends on their attitude.
Okay, it's not what I'm talking about. When I say who do we need to straighten out, and who do we need to reveal the truth of reality to? That's what I mean. The
Okay.
truth of reality. Do
The
that mean?
truth.
Yeah, the
Okay.
truth.
Like, first of all, do we know the truth?
We can head in its direction, and we can only make assumptions as we go. It's
Okay.
always your best. It's always your best guess. There's no absolutes.
Okay, it sounds like, hey man, we are going somewhere. Just get on the bus.
It's not how it's done.
Yeah, but it sounds like if I was someone who doesn't know you, I was like, hey, wait a second. You think that this is going to reality and you want me to get on this bus? But you're not
Well,
very
you
sure
have
that it goes that location.
you have to present evidence to
Okay.
support what you're saying.
If I have a ticket says that it goes to heaven, and if I get on a bus, that means that the bus is going to heaven?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, honestly.
Man, first of all, you have to present what you have clearly so that you can straighten up people.
Yeah, you straighten them out with
But what?
evidence, with evidence, with argumentation.
Okay, so what's reality then for you? Straighten me up, Russia.
Mhm.
What's the reality for you?
It's pretty harsh.
Pretty harsh. Okay.
Yeah, actual reality is very brutal, very direct, very harsh. Um, it has some redeeming aspects to it, not the least of which are the capabilities of the human mind. That's the game changer. But biology itself takes care of a lot of harshness. That's why you have an immune system. That wasn't your decision. That was your body's biological decision. But once you venture into the human mind, that's a whole nother ball game.
Okay. That's harsh. What else?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doctrine about it. Reality is recognized through calm, open perception. You do the best you can to recognize what reality is. I'm not going to stand here and predict it. That's not what I can do.
And so if it's about perception, who tells that we perceive in the same way?
Through communication, you realize what overlaps and what does not overlap.
Okay.
Communication is everything.
Yeah, but that's still like creating a lot of problems because many people perceive that as if there is a God, right? The
Right?
majority of the people are religious. They believe a God exists. So this is
Mm-hmm.
how they perceive the reality.
Okay.
So and a lot of things are overlapping in their fields. from their perspective. But there are disagreements, right? They're not the only humans on this planet. There are atheist people like us. We don't perceive the reality the way that they perceive.
Okay.
So that means communication is not enough here.
No, communication is everything. They present their view, you present your view, you see which one tends to make more sense, which one is better supported by the evidence.
Individual perception is always wrong.
Always
It's
wrong.
it's
Ooh.
subject to debate. You don't know if it's right or wrong. It's subject to debate.
Without
have to
observation and evidence, we cannot say
Huh?
anything. Is it true? Doesn't matter if it is scientific evidence also. It can be wrong.
Yes,
The good thing
anything
about
can be
science, we can change things, but in religion, we cannot change things. That's the
right.
problem with religion. But in
Right.
science, we can change things. That's a good thing about science.
Yes.
But mostly individuals, we are dumb. We don't know
Well,
most of the things.
you know, we don't need to label everybody dumb, and we know what we're up against. You're up against a lot of powerful feelings and emotions, fear, anxiety, insecurity. You're up against a lot of stuff. That's
Biasness.
that's one of the problems with trying to strip the God concept from God believers. If you do that, they feel like they're left with nothing. Especially if I may be so presumptuous, especially in Islam. In their countries, it's part of your backbone, your religion, your doctrine, your it's the way it has permeated every facet of your life, your social life, your political life, your religious life. So they, it's part of their anatomy. It's it's their part of their backbone, their spine. And
It's part of everything.
you can't strip it away from them and expect them to be able to stand up. They won't be able to. So they don't want to let go. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. So you have to know what you're up against.
But the thing is, does the people have enough knowledge or the right knowledge to understand the truth? I asked the question.
The only truth that matters is sincerity and concern. That's the only truth that matters.
Yeah, but would the people be understandable of it? Do they have the enough knowledge to understand it?
Everybody can feel concern and sincerity. And everybody, no matter what their views are, if you approach them with sincerity and concern, they will feel it.
Okay.
It's my prediction. That's why I don't particularly care for harsh argumentation anymore. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. Because the goal is to make everybody happy. So we have a lot of work to do.
Okay, since I couldn't copy paste the comments on YouTube, the truth only holds power to you and those who agree, since there is unfortunately one truth, but many.
There is no one truth. Who said there is one truth?
Okay. Well, how many truths out there for you?
Well, I mean,
I don't know how many truths are there, but
there's
there is
one
no one
actual
truth.
there's one actual reality, but you have a variety of perceptions.
Yeah, because our perception is not perfect. No, that's why we cannot
I
get the
mean,
truth.
everybody's reference points are different from each other. So you're going to have different reactions to the very same reality, the way it fits in with their life. So that's what you're up against. Take your time, you can sort it out.
Hmm.
There is only one
No.
reality, but there are
How do you say that there is one reality?
there's really only one reality, but that's irrelevant. The most important thing is dealing with different perceptions of it. That's where the problem lies.
Okay.
I don't know. I agree with this statement or not. There is one reality.
Well,
There
there
can be
is.
multiple realities.
What do you, if you're on this planet, you think there's multiple realities? I don't understand what you mean.
Because I'm not thinking about in this planet concept only. I'm thinking about this whole universe have a lot of galaxies and planet, so they can have their own reality, own perspective, own not like yeah. There can be multiple truth. I feel like that
You
there's no
can,
one truth.
yeah. Well, you worry about the rest of the
No, I'm not
universe.
worried about anyone. I'm just saying there can be multiple truths. That's what I'm saying.
You're just making stuff up. You know, it doesn't
It's
matter.
not-
Yeah, there could be multiple realities out there in the universe. Whatever, who cares? You know, whatever. But the only thing that counts is what affects this planet and these people on this earth.
Then we should stop studying about astronomies because we are studying planets and stuff. We should just only study about this planet and how to improve this because you're
No,
thinking
no,
there's no
nobody
point of
said
studying
no,
about other
no.
planets and other stuff.
That's fine. You can do that. But as far as worrying about how many realities there are, there's only one to worry about, and that's the one we're in the middle of on this planet. And the only thing you have to worry about from outer space are asteroids heading your way. That you might want to worry about. You might want to worry about um supernovas, you know, aiming at you when they finally go off. There's things to worry about out there, but you know, the vast majority of your concern is what's going on right here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there can be multiple realities or truth, so called,
I don't even know what
that
you
we
mean
don't know.
by that. I don't know what you mean by that. There can be multiple realities. I don't know what that means.
Okay, leave the multiple reality, multiple truths, because there is no one truth. We don't know the real truth. What is the truth?
There is only one truth, and that's
I
reality.
I can go to your home. I can visit your home by multiple routes, but the I can visit your home by multiple routes. So that doesn't mean the only one route I can follow.
Well,
You're
just
saying
tell me
only
which
one
way you're
truth is
coming so I could keep an eye out for you.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. No,
That sounds
multiple.
like a trap, Akash.
I know.
Come
I
on.
know. Just
What?
tell me which way you're coming so I can keep an eye out for you.
That I will tell you later.
Apparently, he's heading this way.
But
I'm
Uh,
just saying there can be
he
multiple
probably
truths.
he probably gonna go from the end door, the back door. Sorry.
Yeah,
Nah, I
yeah.
can also use underground though. Yeah.
Just don't park in the driveway. That's all.
Yeah, but Akash, like your example doesn't make any sense because yeah, like there are
I'm
multiple
just
ways to reach his home. Is only one truth again. Like that's one statement. Yeah, it's true that there are multiple ways.
Right.
but it's not about multiple realities. Like you just only talk about one reality. In this reality, there are multiple ways to reach his home, right?
So you guys are saying there's only one truth.
That's not what I said. No, I just said your last example doesn't make any sense. That's all.
Okay, fine. I got it. That was actually, yeah, leave it. But I'm just saying, what are you guys done saying? What's your thing?
Oh, I can
There is
be
only one truth.
agnostic about that, maybe. But in the end, like, well, whatever is going on, like, if you look at a, upper layer, to me, it seems like, again, one truth. So,
Mhm.
like, give me one alternative of this reality. Give me that.
I can be agnostic about it also. I don't know, but I'm just saying there can be multiple truths. That's what I'm saying.
There can be multiple truths. Okay.
I don't think we're clear on exactly what we're saying.
Yeah. Welcome, Rocky. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
the truth of an ice cube melting is different from the truth of somebody building a wall. Those are two separate truths. What does that have to do with anything? Those are just separate realities. Each one is a reality. Each one has its own truth.
But if you are giving this example, then you're saying every phenomena is happening. There is only one truth behind it.
Take any example of any phenomenon, and there's only one reality to it. Unless you get down to the quantum level, and then there might be a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah. You can't worry about all this shit. What you really need to worry about is how we're going to treat each other and make everybody happy. That's the goal.
Then we should talk about social science then.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where you
because
from? Where you from, dude?
I'm from India actually.
Okay. You don't sound Indian. I've seen you
Oh,
before.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you've been trying to lose it. I think we had this discussion once. You're trying to lose your Indian accent.
No, not at all. I don't care. I don't care about accents. If I'm talking with a person, if that person is understanding my thing, that's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like we're having a shortage of believers nowadays.
A shortness of believers? What?
Shortage.
Shortage of believers. Believers
Yes.
in what?
in the room.
Believers in God, little God.
God?
Yes.
Are you a God believer?
No, I'm not a God believer.
Okay. Well, there's no shortage of them. I'm pretty sure most of the world.
But they're not defending. They're not coming and defending their God.
They don't feel like they have to. I don't blame them. Your God concept is very individualistic, and everybody has their own concept of God to suit their purposes. Whether they realize it or not.
So in this concept, we're actually worshipping our thought. Because we
Yeah.
created a God by our thought, and we're actually worshipping our thought.
Yeah. I will
And we're calling it as a God.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. That means we are worshipping ourselves only.
Exactly. Something like that. Yeah. And then, that's understandable. I get it. I got to grab another cup of coffee. I shall return in about 20 seconds.
Okay, take your time. And I should remind the main topic
So
here.
my question is for you, all of you guys. You don't believe in God? or you believe in God?
Go ahead.
That's it.
Go
This is
ahead.
the.
What are you saying?
So I'm asking you, like, what is your opinion? Do you believe in God or not?
Yes, yes. I don't believe in.
My
Yes.
answer is on my profile picture.
Okay. Yeah, that's your answer. I'm agnostic and atheist. Like, how can you be agnostic and atheist both at the same time?
Simple. It's like you like vanilla and chocolate ice cream together.
No. The point is this: agnostic and atheist totally different. You know,
But
agnostic is the person who.
that's why you can have them together.
Okay, you are different then.
No, I'm not an agnostic atheist. I'm a pure atheist.
Pure atheist. Okay. Pure one.
Yeah.
No, I believe in
haven't-
God,
You do?
Great man.
but I don't believe in religion. These are bullshit.
I
That's
don't know what
even
kind of God you're believing in.
What's your concept of God?
Just a concept of like this: there is a creator who create everything, maybe a superior being. That's it.
a creator. What
Because,
if there are
you need
5
to-
creators?
Where did
Maybe.
your God come? Where did your
Maybe
God
100
Maybe.
creator.
Where did your God
I
come
don't know
from?
here.
How do you explain his existence?
The existence of the God is dependent on the creature, like like science.
What?
I mean, it could be a very intelligent being that has
My
created
point
a
is this:
simulation.
there are something that you cannot explain. Okay, it's true. Okay, in this world, you cannot understand a lot of fixed things.
That is
So
God
that's
of
why
the
you
gap
take them.
argument. You cannot
No,
explain
what I'm
anything.
trying to
That
say.
means
That's
that means
go ahead,
God
Pastor.
I'm saying that God of the gap argument. No, you cannot explain
So-
anything. That doesn't mean that is created by God.
Let me ask you something. Do you really believe that life is an accident?
I don't know.
My question is this: do you really believe that life is just an accident?
I don't have the
Everything just
answer.
go.
I don't know, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna say some kind of God created it.
So
That's the
that's why I cannot say that the God is not created. You know.
Hey,
But
So
Rakesh,
that's my point.
Rakesh, we also have questions for you. So you believe at
Go
least
ahead.
one God exists. Do you think that God's existence
Yes.
is an accident?
For me, in this word is the for me is this word is this the creator or a supreme being. I think everything he owns. So
You're not
everything is
answering the
owns.
question, man. Do you think that God's existence is an accident?
No,
No. So who created
no.
your God?
That's my question. You know. That's why
That's
we
your
name this
question?
creator. My name. That's why I name. Bro, you are
according
trapping me
to
with this word.
I think
No, no.
you don't
The-
understand.
I
I think you don't
I will
understand
give you
what's
the
going
answer.
on. Hey,
I will
hey.
give you. I will give you the answer. I will give you the answer, Philip.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry.
I will wait.
Okay. I will give you the answer. If you ask me who created the God, I created the God.
You created the God?
Okay. It's the reason, if you understand this, because I am here talking about a supreme being which has a lot of ultimate power. Exactly, I created it. Maybe it exists or it cannot
Listen.
be exist. It can be debated.
Can I answer your
I don't know
question,
the
philosopher?
You're agnostic. Okay.
Philosopher, according to your question, like according to Islam, God was not created by anyone.
Yeah, because that's what they believe.
Yeah, I mean, according to Islam, for your questions, there is answer like this. He was
Yeah,
not
and
born.
that's a terrible answer.
Islam.
Why?
Don't talk
Terrible
about Islam.
answer.
Like, don't talk about Islam.
And
It's
we don't
religion is
have to talk about Islam. We're just talking about God, okay? So the
yeah,
answer
that's
coming from that religion doesn't make any sense because they define something, they say, oh, based on that definition, it's impossible. Okay, I can define anything in any way that I want. For example, the universe. I can define the universe as something exists magically, doesn't have a cause. This is how I define this universe. So you can't ask the question who created this universe because it's so stupid. Because universe is an uncreated existence. How can you ask who created the universe? You see, like it's how you define the things. You define the God as an ultimate power who doesn't have a creator. Okay, if you define something like that, sure, you can't ask the question who created it. But the problem is just because you define something in a way, does it mean really it exists?
Yeah,
No.
doesn't mean it's the truth.
Yeah, I can define unicorns right now. It doesn't make it real.
Oh, I have a question for you. Do you know about a scientific research, a God particle?
God particle. Oh wow. So funny.
What about it? What about
Yeah.
the God particle?
X boson. Do you know
Mhm.
about that?
That's just a fancy label they put on it. It really has nothing
No,
to
no.
do.
Like, listen, my point. No. Listen to me. What we are talking about, the particle is the why we got to a smallest particle, because we found it out how the things are creating and how the things are differentiating, in this
Right.
world.
Right.
Like if you listen to my point, like every matter, if you go for every matter is created from that small particle.
Okay.
So it's like this, just like you play a music in the piano, the different things can be done with that same particle. So my question is this: so what you, in this way, you understand the point that everything created from the one single particle?
What created
You
the
get my
particle?
point?
What created the particle?
That's why I say that. The other question people when says that to me, like that is my question. When you say that the particle, who created the particle? That's why I named the God or the ultimate creature
Yeah.
that created. And if you don't have that, then how would you say how this particle is created? Can you define this
Bro,
term?
it's nothing to do with God. They just made it. Just a name. Nothing to
No,
do
I'm
with.
not talking. I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking about the philosophy here. Name is, I don't care about name. Name can be given anything. It's not at my point of view. My point of view, try to understand the point of view first. You get my point or not?
The argument is anything that's real, that exists, people assume it had to come from somewhere. They can't really understand the idea that there was always something here. And that concept doesn't work for them.
My concept is this: you want to say that everything is an accident, and that's, I cannot understand this. How can everything is an accident?
It's an accident and no such thing. It's a cause and effect. Those are not accidents.
So my question is very different. Why not all the
One
planets have
question.
life?
One question for you.
Okay. Go
That is, you said What's your logic? Ki these things, like nothing, something cannot be come from nothing. That is your logic, no?
Yeah, there is something.
Yeah.
That's why something comes.
So something cannot be come from nothing. That is your logic. Then how you're not applying this logic to your God? How God came into existence from nothing?
That's what I'm trying to say. The religion try to define it, but religion fails it. Religion
you have
fails
a
there.
better
Okay.
definition
About
for it.
religions, like someone said, let's don't talk about religions. I don't remember who
No,
said
I'm
it,
not.
but
I'm
let's
not
not talk
talking about
about.
religion.
No, you're talking about
No,
religions,
I'm not
man.
talking.
Man, you're
No,
talking
I'm
about.
not talking
Man,
about.
you were talking about religions. Stop talking about religions, okay?
Okay, leave
So
it.
what about you?
Okay, leave
The
it.
question came to you, not to other religious people, okay? You said you're not religious, right? I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
I'm not.
like answer the question based on your belief, okay?
Okay. When I look at the world and everything around it, I cannot see that it can be an accident. It's not possible.
Based on
So
what?
my mind says,
Accident is
it
the
cannot.
wrong word.
Based on what?
Accident is
Yeah,
not the
cause
right word.
anything in this universe. You are saying cause and effect. Okay, I understand the point is this.
Yeah.
Like something happened, then it make it still.
Something else
Do you know? Yeah, you make something and mix with something, and then it's make like life becomes by accident in the same way. That's the cause of some other reasons, and that you're trying to define it. I get this point, okay? But I don't get this point why this cause and effect exist.
Why it exists?
It's very different. If you go for the quantum level now, if you go for
Why the
quantum mechanics,
supreme being and God exist in
I
the first
wouldn't. I
place?
wouldn't jump down to
no,
the
no. Let
quantum
me
level.
let me give, because we are like how we define things. We have only one way. I believe science is the best way to find this answer that the God really exists or not, and science is the future, and that can lead to the truth and everything else. I
Science
don't.
never talks about God. Science don't work in that area. God is a different thing.
Science, no, science is talks about
Science,
science is talk. Listen to me, Akash. Science talks about logic, so that we can define something.
no. Science
Eh,
try to study the natural phenomena to explain it. Science never try to find is there any God. Science never try to find any logic.
no.
Logic is a subject of philosophy. It's not subject of science.
Okay, what do you think? Science, if you are literally making science in such a small basket. Science is quite good.
Yeah,
The
because
way
science
you
works like
live.
that. Science doesn't
No,
talk about
no.
everything. Science is
Listen,
not
science,
solving your God issues.
psychology is also science. Psychology is also
Psychology.
science.
I never talked about psychology. I'm talking about philosophy, and logic is a subject of
Uh,
philosophy. It's not a subject of science.
no, if you go about the science, na, you will, if you understand the science perfectly, you will understand it very perfectly. Science can be in near future. You will understand when you have a quantum computer, you can replicate the photosynthesis process. Same thing in your home. Maybe maybe a plastic can grow a fruit. A plastic tree can grow a fruit because we understand the philosophy of
Because we
photosynthesis.
explain the natural phenomena, how it's working. It doesn't mean it actually saying God exists or not. It nothing to do with God.
What I'm trying to say in this, listen, you
Yeah.
need to find this answer that it is exist or not, and this is the better way. And if you say, if you say what you say, paranormal activities is also a branch of science.
Paranormal activity is a pure pseudoscience.
It is a branch of, still it's a science.
Pseudoscience is not science.
And don't level it with your level it, okay?
No, it's
Still it's
not
a
my
science when
level.
you try to
It's not my level. I am not saying
if you
anything it from my mind, from my logic. I'm saying the people who are actually working in the field, what they are saying, I'm trying to say it to you because I have nothing new. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a scientist. I cannot say anything with authority. The people who are actually working on it, they are saying pseudoscience is not a science. First of all, it's a fake science, and paranormal activities are
who are
completely
my
bogus.
question is, who are they? Like, scientists always have their own ways of saying things. If
Yeah,
you
they
say
have
that some
biases. I'm not
scientists,
saying they have biases,
yeah,
but that doesn't mean
yeah, go ahead.
they do the research, they do the observation, they do peer
I
reviews.
agreed. Go ahead.
So then
So
there is no some
people,
one person is saying something.
some people say that it's a pseudoscience, but some other scientists say that it's a science.
Yeah, that's a
So I
personal
will
belief.
take.
No, that's a personal belief. That doesn't mean that
So you
science
are.
exists.
So it doesn't mean it's not the science.
One
It's a
scientist says something. If Albert Einstein is also saying something, that doesn't mean whatever he's saying that is true.
Agreed.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
understand that. I agree that. I agree with that. So it depends upon who you follow.
No, it depends upon who you see the evidence and peer-reviewed journals and stuff. It doesn't matter. You don't follow in science. You don't follow anyone. There is no authority. There is no worship of anything. There is no authority in science.
Yeah.
You try to see the evidence.
But still, you believe on something, my friend. You still believe on something, okay?
What
my point
belief?
is still
That
you
is
believe on
knowing.
something.
Hey, Rakesh, one point.
Go
You
ahead.
said you said the research papers would say it's paranormal is science. Can you bring even one of those research papers?
Go ahead. You can read it if you go on a Google.
No, I have
you can just
Googled
read
and
it, bro.
there are none. I googled it and
there are a
it
lot of
says
fake
all of them
journals.
say they're pseudo. No, from a reputable scientific journal, if you can, prove it.
Guys, if you, I don't have a papers right now. How can I give you that?
Did you
For
read
that,
it?
I need to come prepared. No. For that, I need to come prepared. And that's not how it works. The thing is this: there are scientists. It says that it's a science, and there are scientists who say it's not science.
What do you
Listen,
mean by paranormal? detection of ghosts and these things, that is paranormal, right?
Or when you talk about different kind of energies.
What do you mean by energy?
What do we mean by energies? It's
Like
energies,
energy,
like
physical energy or something?
it's a better example. Okay, we
Okay.
had a glass of water. Because it's a research subject. Then you cannot like if we have a but if you have do research on it or practical on it, then it's you can say that it's a science. Okay, so what happened when you have a 2 glass of water and there is like 1 glass of water you abused and you say bad stuff, the crystals are different. The
What the fuck
water
is that?
crystals are different.
That means you're only
What
following
the
the
fuck is that?
pseudoscientists. Seriously.
No, why would I'm
It's
not
not
following a
possible.
pseudoscience.
Water
Brother,
don't
it's
have any memory. Water
brother. Do
cannot
you
be
know? Do you know? Sometimes life feel like it. There are some scientists say that plants don't have a life. Same, the Western scientist says that, and there is a guy come to this world and say that's the point.
No,
They come to this
you're
world and
saying
says that
you're saying you can talk to water. That's you're saying. You can talk to water.
no, I can say that. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Give the
When you have,
research paper that you're claiming. Don't claim if you don't have evidence.
brother, you can just read it in the theoretical. Like it's very famous research.
Okay, let me search.
Like you need to read about it. You don't say that anything like that. Like you
Did
need
you
to
read
read it.
about it?
Then it's
If you read
yes,
about it,
bro.
present
No,
it.
no, Rocky.
Yes,
The
bro. I
search is
read.
that
Listen,
water
listen,
memory stuff
listen to
is
me.
pure pseudoscience.
What I'm talking about is I'm talking about the X boson particle. Okay, that explains the phenomena why something is changing by the way of you speak. Why something is changing because it's a way you changes the energies. And when you go into the core of this, you understand it's the when we create what is
Using a
matter.
lot of you're using a lot of words, energy kind of words, but you're not defining it. What kind of energy you're talking about? You're using a lot of words.
Because, listen, because I can't define it.
You
If there
have
is no
to.
definite answer, because it's not definite answer.
No,
That's what my point is. This. If I had a definite answer,
the
go
water.
ahead.
Okay. The water one, ChatGPT says
I
there is
can't
no
hear you.
peer-reviewed validation. It has failed the replication. Okay.
Your voice is
ChatGPT
breaking.
says there is no peer-reviewed validation. Is my voice clear?
Yeah, fine now.
Go ahead. Man.
Okay. ChatGPT says there is no peer-reviewed validation. We tried to replicate it. It didn't replicate. And all the scientists, most of the scientists agree it was pseudoscience.
It
So
is a
where
pseudoscience.
is
You
your
cannot talk
research
to
coming
memory.
from? Yeah.
Water doesn't have memories.
So it
It's a
failed
pure
replication. It failed all the scientific criteria.
What happened?
Why are we even talking about this thing though?
I don't know.
We are dumbing down. We are dumbing down the discussion, aren't we?
Why are we talking about these things?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I was like little bit busy. So what were your questions? I will answer it.
This water memory actually did by some Japanese pseudoscientist, and it's
Brother,
not.
if you say everything is a pseudoscientist, if you say that every
This
research is
is.
a pseudoscientist, how can you define
It
it?
never said
You are.
that every research is a pseudoscience, but this water memory is a
Do
pure
you know about
science.
gravity? Do you know about gravity?
I don't have to know about gravity. Gravity is working every day.
Wow. Leave it, bro. You think you are an atheist and you are not talking about those stuff. You need to
What
be
I'm
more
not talking about.
open-minded. You need to
I
be
am
more
the
open
most
about it.
open-minded. I'm the most
No, you
open-minded
are
person
not.
you can find.
You are not open-minded because you are not willing to
But
accept
you are saying
things.
water has memory. You can talk to memory water. That is
No, I'm not talking about.
open-minded.
I'm not talking about. Listen,
That is
the
bogus.
thing is, you don't even understand the thing here. What I'm
I don't.
trying to say, you are changing the matter. That explains the particles. Why when you go to the symbol particle, that explains it. Why materials, why the matters are changing. And if you go for quantum mechanics, it's a weird thing. If you read about it, then you will understand.
You
You
make no
just
sense.
read it.
You make
Because
no
science
sense
sometimes,
at all.
if you read about quantum mechanics, you will understand science makes no sense, and quantum
You're talking
mechanics
about
makes no sense.
you're talking about quantum mechanics. At the same time, you're talking about water has a memory. This is
Yeah.
I'm not
completely.
talking about water has a listen.
But you
Completely,
gave
your
this
understanding.
example. You gave this example of
It's
that
not about
research. No?
memory. It's not about memory. It's about the changing the shape of the matter.
So you were saying if I talk to a water and I change the matter of that water, and
Yeah, that's
that's
how it
your
is
saying.
done, and that explains
ChatGPT
this
says
phenomenon.
it was not a scientific experiment. It failed replication. If you can't replicate, it's not scientific. Okay. So let's not
Yeah,
talk
you
about
can
this
say.
anymore. You can read it. Okay. I gave you the evidence. You didn't give me anything. I gave you. You can read it.
Yeah, please.
Listen, if you talk about this way, every research you will tell him that every research is a failure.
You work on
Even
consensus in science.
I
The
never said it.
consensus says it's pseudoscience.
if I talk about the gravity, even the gravity explanation becomes wrong.
Again, the consensus says there is gravity. The consensus says there is wave or particle duality. In this, there is no consensus.
Actually, I agree. There's no.
And we're
I agree with
experiencing
that.
gravity every day.
Yeah, you can see that. If you can do that every day, replicate it, and the phenomena why it doesn't work. The question is that's how the science works, Like you get failures, why it's not working, that you need to find. Why it works in a one time. Why does it work in one time? Like this is a beautiful example, when you find protron, like all the particles pass through, but some particle, like when the laser beam fired, there are a lot of all of laser beams fired. Lot of them get passed through it, but some laser beams do not able to pass it. He asks the question why some laser beams are not passed. Then he discovers something new, So this is how the discovery happens.
So why would
Nothing
you
is
quote a failed
perfect.
scientific experiment? It's a failed experiment. Why would you even quote it?
How can it's a failed experience? My question is
Because
this:
it did not
if something happens,
replicate. Because it did not
if
replicate.
something, because if something happened, it's fact, it's happened, okay, but it's
You
not
can claim
replicate me.
anything. You can claim anything. There was no peer-reviewed article. It was not in a reputed journal. It's a claim. How do you know if it's even true?
The question is, you are doubting everything. Then how can it will be anything can be true?
I'm not doubting everything. There is no credential to do here.
Then I will
There is
also
no
give you
reputed
example
journal.
about it. How can you believe this pen is a pen? When you close your eyes, this pen maybe disappear. Then you are
Sets of
asking about
false
the concept
equivalence.
about no, that is
False
a concept
equivalence.
about science. That is a science. When you
Pen,
talk about this,
pen
pen
is
can
English.
disappear.
Pen is an English word which is given by some humans. We call it pen, and we are using it for
Why
some
not?
purpose.
When you are sleeping, your pen can travel the entire universe. How did you prove that it did not follow? It did not travel the entire universe.
This question doesn't make sense at all.
I think he's a closet religious person. He wanna search miracles. He didn't find in religion.
First
So
of
now he's
all,
trying to find
I told you I'm not a religious person. I don't care
I'm not
about
saying you
religion.
are. I'm not saying you are, but your soul, it's searching for miracles. Without religion,
I'm
it's
not searching
inside.
for. I'm not for searching for miracle. I'm searching for answers. That's different. I don't care about miracles. Every miracle has a reason. I want to find those reasons.
There is no miracle
Got
in this
it.
universe.
And I also agree with this Stephen Hawking's quote. Okay, there is no miracle. There are only reasons, and you need to find those reasons.
When we actually don't have the explanation of something, we call it miracle.
Miracle. Yeah, I agree.
That's the alternative
That's the word.
name. That doesn't mean it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
miracle. Because we
Yeah,
don't have the
that's true.
explanation of. Yeah.
We do not explain it. And we need to explain that phenomenon. Why it happened one time? Why not it's reflecting other times? What are the phenomena? What are the things that do that? So that's a science, You're covering me, telling me that I'm a religious person. No, I'm not.
See, the way you believe in any bullshit, like this is not even a reputed paper, no peer-reviewed article, no replication, and you would still believe in it. That's what we call blind belief, right?
I'm not believing in it. I am saying, listen, I am believing in it only one reason, because it happened one time, isn't it?
He claimed it happened. We don't even have evidence it happened.
It happened. There are evidence, bro.
because it's not peer reviewed. He published it by himself. It's not even peer reviewed.
And falsifiability is a very important method in scientific community, where if you are producing something, you need to show it, and other people also need to do it and get the same result.
You can do something in your room and claim, "Oh, I did it," and nobody saw it. How does
Yeah,
it matter?
that doesn't mean anything. Peer reviews are very much important in scientific community.
I just wanna tell you that don't be stubborn. If you really believe in science, be open-minded. That's
I'm
all
not
I'm saying.
believing in
Don't be
science.
open-minded to bullshit. Be open-minded to logic, rationale. You can't be open-minded
So
to
I'm
bullshit, right?
not. Yeah, I agree with that. It's
You
not
need to spot the
bullshit.
bullshit. No, you need to spot the bullshit. What is bullshit? What is not? Because you can, if you say I'm
Yeah, yeah.
open-minded to
That's like
everything,
that's the same people who was in the past telling that trees don't have a life. They don't have a life because they already believe that. A lot of scientific community believe this because trees don't have a life. And there are some scientists says that Earth is not round. There's some crazy great peoples, and this is that
yeah,
Earth
that's
is not
evolved.
round.
No, that's evolved. Now
That's
people
again a relative
I'm
argument.
talking about it. I'm talking about this and those kind of people. You are in that time. You are saying that Earth cannot be round. It is flat. Can you not see it? See
That's
the
again
land. It's flat.
religious argument because you're saying, "Oh, because science has been wrong once, so everything again we know is wrong." How do you know it is wrong? It could be wrong. We don't know yet. It is not
Because
necessarily wrong.
because when you read about quantum mechanics, you can understand that everything can in a blink of a second. Everything is so unstable.
The problem is you're implying
Every
because you were
law,
wrong once,
every
everything is
law that
wrong.
you, every law that you see, it can change in an instant.
It can, but it's not. Certainly, it would. It can, maybe. You're not sure.
Yeah, that's nobody's sure.
So if we don't know, we would believe in whatever we know today. Why would you think about future?
And
Okay, it can
being
change.
open-minded doesn't mean like you believe in everything. You need to be logical. You need to be rational on that sentence. Whatever someone is saying, doesn't matter. The person authority is not. The person is scientist, so it doesn't matter that. But that whatever the statement it is given, is it logical? Is it like falsifiable?
Well,
We can test that. We can give some evidence. We can get some evidence out of it. You cannot just anyone can say anything. That doesn't mean you can say I'm open-minded, so I'm gonna take it everything. It doesn't mean it doesn't make sense at all. That's what I'm trying to say. You need to be rational about it. Any kind of statement, you need to question that why it's happening.
That's what I'm saying. Why it's happening? Why it
But
happened
you
one
believe
time?
that pseudoscientist.
How can you say it's a solution? That's my question. That's the problem
Yeah,
with you
because
guys. You're not even understanding the point.
You're not logical about that sentence. No, you're talking about
Because
water,
you listen
changing matters,
listen to
water,
me,
memory.
Akash, you are thinking this because you are don't able to get out of your mindset. It can happen. You know about Stephen Hawkins? There is a very famous entanglement theory. Do you know about entanglement theory?
That doesn't mean anything. If I know it or no, it doesn't know, it doesn't mean anything. What are you
Do you
trying
know
to say?
about entanglement?
Give your statement. What you're trying to say.
No. First of all, do you know entanglement theory? My question is this: do you know it or
What's
not?
your question? Go ahead with your question. No,
Ma'am, question asking you: do you know entanglement theory?
I heard it. Not very much knowledgeable about it.
So really, you don't even know about science, and then it's a famous theory, and you don't know about it.
Hey, just one
And you
thing.
talk about
Because I don't talk about water memory. No, like
Hey,
you.
water
because you
memory
don't even because you don't even know about the famous theory about entanglement theory.
Hey
What
man,
is entanglement theory? You don't even know about that.
hey, Rakesh, don't be stubborn. Like, make your statement, okay? Maybe there are other people who knows
That's what
about
I'm
that, okay?
saying.
Just make your statement, man.
Make your statement, man. What are you trying to fight?
Okay, entanglement theory. Albert Einstein said that entanglement. It says that it's like a left and right hand. Okay, so when you have two particles, entanglement theory is basically two electrons. Basically, two electrons move in always in opposite direction. Okay, even no matter what is the distance between them. And through this theory, we can always we can revolutionize the communication. Because if we go for light speed, light is not that fast. but it does not. But it is it's faster than light. Entanglement theory. If we can use that in a future communication, if we go on a space, that's different stuff. So what I'm trying to say, Albert Einstein once upon says that because it is moving because it's just like hands. One side is a left and the other side is a right. That's why they are moving in opposite directions. But it is not when we scientifically proven that it's not true. It's not true, okay? And that's why there is a very fair. I don't even remember the name of the scientist. The when the same sentences are very famous, if you talk about it, Albert Einstein says that God cannot do like this, and the other scientists say, "Don't tell the God what to do." So my statement is this: there are some things that you are not understanding. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Okay, it doesn't mean it
This
exists also.
Because if you go for quantum mechanics, you will, if you read about it, you will feel that everything is very unstable.
So what? That doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't mean God exists. It doesn't mean God doesn't exist.
I agree with that. It doesn't mean that
So
God exists. It doesn't mean that.
why we needed that example explanation about quantum?
I'll give you the example. That's what I'm saying. That my point is this: I believe that there is a creator who's balancing out everything.
That's what you believe, yeah. Based on what?
Yeah. Based on all those theories. When I read
Based on
about
all
it,
those theories.
when I see all those things, I believe that.
But you gave an example, and then your statement was, "Oh, those things seem unstable."
That's going to listen. They are
And
so
where's the
unstable,
balance
but
here?
Listen to me. Those things are unstable, when you go up and up, when it becomes the size bigger and bigger and bigger, things start stable. Why they are becoming stable? Don't you think there is a force? That's why they are becoming stable.
I don't know why. If they're stable, I don't know why they're stable. But that doesn't mean it's because of a God. Okay, so you're just creating argument from your ignorance. You don't know how it works. You say, "Oh, it must be God." That is a simple logical fallacy. You don't understand how it works. Oh, wait a second. Like, don't tell God what to do. Wait a second. Like, how do you know God exists in the first place? Because we don't understand. We are studying this together as two scientists, okay? And seemingly we don't understand how it works, okay? That's what we know so far. We don't understand. That means God is doing that? No. That means God is not doing that? No.
Listen, let me give you an answer, okay? There is a research on this. There are some things that making it stable. And we don't know about that something.
And?
We don't know about it.
And
what don't you know?
Something is God.
What don't you know about?
What makes why a quantum in the quantum when things are become bigger and bigger, why things are becoming stable and stable?
It's a question, not an argument.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Or there is something that making it stable, you know.
Maybe, maybe not.
Isn't it?
Maybe it's because of their interaction. Maybe that interaction causes such kind of a result. We don't know, right?
We know this. Listen, we know this. There is something that making it stable. Okay, we know this, but we don't know this. What is it and how it is? And there's a lot of different questions.
Are you sure that you know that there is something making it stable? Are you sure?
Yeah, everyone knows that. Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Because everything has that cause and effect, you know. It's like simple thing, cause and effect. If you know about that principle.
And your supreme God don't have any cause.
If the causes and the effects add up to stability, then you have stability. If the causes and effects don't add up to stability, then you have something else. But that's it.
I should say, yeah, that's true. And that's true, you know. If we get to find that.
Yeah, all of these things.
For me, listen. My point is that, okay, I totally agree with you guys. Okay, in this case, you can say that the God doesn't exist. If you get the answer, you can say that the God doesn't exist.
That never That was never our claim. God doesn't
No.
exist. We
Yeah,
didn't
no.
claim anything. We never
you-
claimed
Okay.
anything.
Okay, then you don't claim. Then I'm also not stubborn. Maybe the God doesn't exist. I don't care too much about it.
When
But
you
I just
say
want to find the answer.
when you say God, you automatically enter a whole different realm. Now you're talking supernatural, you're talking unnatural. And that's not what science considers. They don't consider
Yeah.
the unnatural and the supernatural. They only consider the natural, the attributes.
That's why I
that are-
differ.
that
That's
are-
why I also differ from science.
That's why what?
That's why I
What?
also differ. Why, if you cannot answer something, you need to answer it. That's why I believe in God. That's simple enough.
That's a very silly approach to knowledge. If you don't know something, you keep looking.
You can say that.
You don't
You
make
can
up.
say that.
You don't
I'm
make
looking
up
at
an
it. Okay,
answer.
listen my point. You
don't
make
make
an
up-
assumption first.
Let me
My
finish.
friend.
Let me
Okay, go ahead.
finish.
Finish first. Go ahead.
You don't make up an answer that has to include the supernatural, because there is no evidence for such a position, and that's why
Okay.
science doesn't bother with that.
Okay, your statement is God. I am making an assumption, okay, that God exists.
Okay.
In the future, if it feels, okay, it's fine.
Okay.
But I am making the assumption here God exists.
Okay.
Just like you are making the assumption God doesn't exist.
Right, but
I'm making the
I'm
assumption.
curious.
You're
I'm
always
curious-
saying the wrong thing. You're
I'm
always saying he
curious.
doesn't
I'm
claim
curious about
anything.
your reasoning. I'm curious about your reasoning. Why do you think God exists? Do you have a good reason?
For me, the good reason is very simple.
What?
Because nothing works without any reasons. There is something, and there is something. That's why something is working.
Right. And
Nothing happens automatically. Automatically. Even if you.
But everything has its own attributes, has its own characteristics, and they will either clash or cooperate with other things that have their own attributes and characteristics. That's how things happen. They interact. They're all different, and they all have different reactions when they come together. That's how things happen. You seem to be wondering why anything happens if there's no God. Well, because everything has its own characteristics that interact with other characteristics. It's just a natural.
You are also making you are also making an assumption here.
Well, I'm making an observation. When you see,
observation. You can say that. Yeah, observation. You can say. Yeah.
And
But
so
still,
you combine two things. You watch them interact. You make your observations, but you don't suddenly say, "And the reason we're seeing all this is because of a God." That doesn't follow. It does not follow.
Okay, you are making an observation. Suppose a simple thing. You are making an observation, okay, but something you don't define it, okay. You give the name of it. Obviously, you give the name. So in the universe, we say dark matter. Why we say dark matter? Because we don't know what are the other matters exist in those universe. That's why I say dark matter. And that's why we give it. I'm just talking about here that. I am just I am just labeling the name as a god, because for me, I am labeling the name as a god.
Yeah, but the word God is unnatural. So you've entered a whole new realm of consideration where there is no limits. That's not reality necessarily.
Sometimes I really believe that. Is it a reality? This world is a real.
Whatever. I mean, we all feel kind of weird all the fucking time. That's got nothing to do with anything. The point is that as soon as you say God, you introduce an entirely new realm of consideration where there are no limits, there are no rules. It only happens because it can make it happen. you know, without any
Why not?
explanation.
Why not? Why should I not consider those things?
It's the least likely when you don't really have an explanation for something. It's better not to suggest it. You have to build a reasoning to say the things you say.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying my reasoning is this: I do not understand. If I understand someday, or all the philosophies and all those things, I will say that maybe this
If-
is the reason God
when-
doesn't exist. I don't care about it.
The first thing you said correctly was, if I don't understand, and I get it, because all of us don't understand. So that's a common trait among all of us. Now, once we don't understand, there's only one thing to do, and that's to investigate, not to make up
Yeah.
stuff, not to make
Yeah,
up
I
stuff,
agree. Listen,
to
what
investigate.
I am. Listen to me. You're right about it. I am trying to investigate things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But I am not saying this. But I'm making an assumption that God exists.
Right.
Maybe.
I know you are. But I'm curious about how you reason your way to that assumption.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
makes you say that? Because it's another
Because
realm. It's another realm entirely.
Okay, it's a very simple thing. Okay, because whenever I observe things, in this world, I observe things. Everything has a different cause and effect. Everything following a set of rules.
Well,
actually, everything follow set of
no,
rules. If you see that,
no, you're saying it wrong. They do not follow a set of rules. They exhibit a set of behavior, and we make up the rules that describe what reality is doing. They don't
Okay,
follow.
yeah. I agree with your statement. Your statement is more correctly. I totally agree with that statement. Okay,
very good.
I'm not contradicting that.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say here, because when I look at what you said, when I look at this world, I see that there is something, and that's something I cannot define it. So I make that assumption that something is God. Maybe it is false. Okay, I'm not saying that it's gonna be true in the future. It can be false. Okay, so I'm willing to accept that it can be false. Okay, it's fine. If it's false, it's false. But I'm willing to accept that.
A long time ago, I asked you, because I'm curious, what your reasoning is that makes you say that.
My reasoning is this: very simple, because I do not understand things.
That's not a good reason to make something up. When you don't understand something, now you be quiet and investigate. You don't make stuff up.
That's a logical mistake. Do you know about logical fallacies?
It's an argument from ignorance, is what it is.
You say, I don't know how it works, then the reason can be anything. So if I say, I don't know how this works in science, I can say, oh, maybe it's because of magical unicorns.
Yeah. It's an
We can
argument
stop
from
people if we can create such beliefs easily when we don't know things. So people can and people are believing right now in many different things for the same reason. They don't understand and they just put their imagination there. And we have lost him. I think he got a call, or he's someone he called him.
Who was it we were talking to? I didn't even know.
Rakesh. Oh, he's back. Rakesh.
Okay. All right. So anyway, you can make any working assumption that you want, Rakesh. That's okay. I was just curious as to what led you in a direction of
Okay,
unnatural.
listen. Okay, okay. There is an incident in my life happened. Okay, that is almost impossible.
Okay.
Got it? It's almost impossible. I cannot define it with the logic.
Well, you
I
said it's
can't.
almost. You said it's almost impossible. So therefore, it can be explained. You just can't do it.
No,
right?
okay. Listen,
You
listen.
you
There
didn't say
is
it was
okay.
impossible. You didn't.
I will give you I will give you the example. Okay, what happens? Okay,
Uh-huh.
there is like I was like I am a very so I don't like I don't believe in God in the past. I don't care about it. I
Uh-huh.
think the God is never existed or something like that. Okay,
Right.
I have a same belief. Okay, so one day I was playing a game. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was playing a game to myself, not with anyone else. So I was just playing this game. So there is, or I was playing that. I was in that time. I was in engineering. I'm studying that. So I played the game like almost impossible task. If the God exists, because people say it's almost impossible, it can happen. Impossible thing make it possible. Okay.
I don't
So
know
I
what you're
choose.
saying. You lost me. I
Yeah.
don't really know what you just said. I don't. Do you follow
Okay.
that over?
Okay. I'm just telling you the story. The why I believe in the God.
What game were you playing?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain to you now.
Yeah, all right. That's what I'm confused about. What's this
Yeah.
game? The game is what?
Okay, its game is all about this. There are a lot of multiple buses. Okay, there are a lot of multiple, like lot of buses are there. Okay.
Buses.
Okay, so yeah, bus. Do you know about bus or public transport? Leave it with that. Public
Yeah.
transport. There are a lot of public transport
Okay.
where children start traveling. Okay, so I choose a particular bus, and I choose the particular bus. At that bus, I will be. If the God exists, I will get to that bus, and it will start. Then I will reach there, and all the buses are start moving. And I know that if the buses are start moving, I will never reach it. It's almost impossible. Okay, so what happened is like suddenly all the buses stopped. Okay, because of the strike, they had a strike and they stopped.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, I stopped for like I stopped for waited for 1 hour. Like I waited 1 hour because I don't want to move. I start moving after 1 hour. Okay, when I reach to the same particular bus, it start moving. So how can I not I cannot explain this phenomena. So I have to accept the God. If you play a
What?
game and
You sound
that's
like
all.
you're insane. I don't know what the hell you're saying.
Yeah, you
You
need to
sound like
understand it.
you sound like you've lost your fucking mind over a bus,
I don't know. Yeah,
over a moving bus. I
yeah,
don't get
because
it.
I cannot explain it.
So
Yeah, I
what?
do not understand it.
So
Yeah,
what?
I don't
There's a
understand.
million things.
Understand.
There's a million things you can't explain. I'm sure. So would we need to freak out over every single one of them? There's a million things you
Nope.
can't explain. There's a
No,
million things I
because
can't
I play.
explain.
Uh, the thing is this, my friend, because I feel it. I had played a game, and that's why believing in God.
Your
It doesn't matter. I
feelings,
don't care.
your
That's
feelings,
your
your feel.
personal
Yeah,
anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal
yeah.
evidence
Your
has no
feelings,
value.
Yeah,
your
No
feelings are
value.
not a
yeah, that's
reliable.
like that is my evidence for me. Maybe you guys don't have a evidence, and you will never believe it, and it's
You
okay
And I
for
can
you.
mentioned
think of anything. Anyone can think of anything. No, that
when
doesn't
you
mean it's
mentioned
evidence.
feelings.
Yeah,
When you mentioned
agree. I do not, hey, brothers, I do not disagree with you. Before that, I was like you, and I don't disagree. I was the same as you. I don't believe in God or anything bullshit like that. So I understand. If I was in your shoes in that time, I will the saying the same statement that you are saying. So it's fine.
it's a mistake.
I have an experience of ghost, but I don't believe in ghosts because I know it can be my perception can be wrong. I'm not a very super like I'm not a very efficient machine. Okay, whatever I'm seeing, that is the truth. That is the evidence. So I have experience of ghost. Still, I'm not saying ghost is real because I know anecdotal evidence has no value.
How much of an
But you're saying
experience did you have? What kind?
I haven't. Leave it. I'm not not going into that story. I'm not interested.
There was something moving in front of you that was
There was a
wispy and
weird sound coming at
ghostly.
us or something like that.
You
It
know,
was a different feeling.
your eyes can have a good time. Were you on drugs at the time?
Maybe I don't, I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Listen, Rakesh, what's his name? Rakesh. When you mention feelings, those are not objective sources of information. They are catering
I
to
understand. Listen,
they're
brother, I
catering to
understand
what
your point.
they
Go ahead, first you speak.
they cater to what you need, what you would like, and all of that sort of thing, which is fine. You don't make your decisions based on feelings. You're making on hardcore observation.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay. So you saw a bus. I didn't get anything out of that story. Some bus is moving and it's not supposed to be moving. I don't know what you said, and I don't care.
Ah,
So stupid.
yeah, it's like this,
buses.
no? Because God concept is a stupid concept. So you can always define it as by the stupidity. I don't even understand the
No,
God concept even in the past. That's a problem.
I don't
And
know
when you
how you. I don't know how you get the God concept out of a bunch of buses.
because you know what is the concept of God? Making miracle. That's a simple concept of God. Why we believe in
Yeah,
God? Because it's a miracle. It gives us miracle.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. But you're
Uh,
very
that's
that's
very
your
quick.
defi-
You're
That's your
very quick.
definition.
You're very quick to label
I
your.
suppose. So,
Listen.
listen.
You're very quick to label your experience as a miracle. You're very
As an
quick to
objective
do that,
evidence, yeah.
and
Objective evidence.
that's silly. That's silly. That's what you're
Oh, silly
doing.
for you. That's
Well,
silly
I'm
for
just
you,
telling you. I'm just
but it's
telling
not
you.
silly for me.
You're
It's
dealing
not
with
silly for
buses.
me.
You're dealing with
It's not
buses,
silly for me.
and you.
I will say I will face this reality and I will prove that God doesn't exist. Then I will be happy.
We're not trying to
But
prove
before that,
anything. We're not trying to
I will
prove
prove it.
anything. You can't prove any of that. All I'm
Ah,
saying is
yeah.
there's no evidence. There's no real sensible reasoning
God, when
solid.
you say the name of, listen to me. When you say the name of God, there is no sensible reasoning ever.
Okay.
There is no logic ever.
All right. So much for
But
When
you
that.
you
said you
take that,
believe in God. You believe in God because of your
Yeah, that's
personal
fine. That's
experience.
fine. He believes in God. That's fine.
I told you, I have an assumption that God exists. It doesn't mean that I make this assumption that exists. That's how you make the assumption God doesn't exist. That's your assumption.
I never
You
claimed
cannot.
it. God doesn't exist. I never
Does your
claimed it.
God
I said I
give
don't
you
know.
rules
So
on
what you
behavior?
claim, what you are understanding things like which side you are. You believe that God
Do you know?
exists or
Do you
not
know?
exist.
Do you know the definition of atheist? The definition of atheist is simple. Atheists reject God because they don't have evidence. Verifiable
Yeah.
evidence. If you give the verifiable evidence, we will believe it. Simple. We are not claiming anything. We are not on another religion or anything. It's just a statement. It's just a rebuttal to those religious people who believed in God. That's simple, or nothing else.
Yeah, you have your own point of view, and I totally.
That's why I'm not claiming actively anything. God exists or not exists. I don't know.
I claim that, and that's why when I have experience, I will claim it until it's proven wrong. And it's fine if it's proven
You
wrong.
can
I
do
don't care
whatever you
about it.
Okay.
You can do it whatever you want to
Does
do.
your God dictate the way you're supposed to behave, or you don't look at it that way?
I don't care about dog. Like I don't think about that. God, do that, do that. Hey,
Right.
everything works on a logic, and everything logical. Everything is a logic,
Okay.
and everything is a very big calculation. Until I find my answer of that calculation, I cannot answer it. Okay, I have to believe in God until that.
Would you say that your concept of God is one of a good entity, or this God is a bad entity? Would you, if
I
you
think
had
it's a
to
good.
choose a good one,
I
a
will think
good
there's
one?
a good one. Always a good one.
Really? Have you
Yeah.
taken the time to look around? Does it really look that good?
I have a question. If do you want a God who always control people?
I'm not worried
Does
about
it really a
controlling
God then?
people. That's a straw man. Not talking about controlling
Look
people.
talk it about this. Okay, what is all the religion doing? They are controlling the masses on a bullshit stuff.
I'm not worried about people. That's too complicated. I'm looking at the animal kingdom, the way it's been put together. Do you really think that was a good God that designed the animal kingdom, where all they can do is run after each other, rip each
And
other
kill each
apart,
other.
and eat them?
Kill each other.
Yeah, that's what you call a good God?
How can I explain something like that?
You
Good
cannot.
or bad?
That's the problem. You cannot.
That's true.
That's true.
I cannot.
That's why, you could find a lot of easy ways to dismiss this whole conversation about good and bad. I wanted to mess you up, so I asked you about good and bad. That gets tricky.
But I don't. But I don't care about it, good or
Yeah, I
bad.
know, I know,
But the
I know, I know.
concept
Yeah,
is this very simple. What is
yeah,
good or
yeah.
what is bad? Like,
Well,
do you
that's
know,
a
killing
whole.
animal. I will tell you, killing animal is okay in my sense, but
Well,
killing
it's
trees
not
is
okay.
not okay. Killing trees is not okay. You will harming the earth more when you kill a tree.
All right, I'm done talking to you about what's good and what's bad. That's enough.
Yeah.
You in your own little
No,
world
I
there.
agree. I agree with this statement, and nothing is good and bad. It's subjective always. There is no
Yeah.
defined morality. I also believe in that.
I think he said killing trees was worse than
No, that
killing
doesn't.
animals.
I don't agree with that. But the first
I mean, killing
statement,
trees is not a good
I agree.
idea. I get it. I get it.
I agree with that. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my point is, who is more
I'm
beneficial for who
I'm
is
We all,
more
criticizing.
we all
beneficial
are,
for the earth?
we
Earth.
all are, we
I'm
all are playing the
criticizing
survival
the
game.
design. I'm
We all are
criticizing
playing
the
the survival game.
design. That's
There
all
is
I'm
no
doing.
right and wrong.
It's not a good design.
It is a messed up design for sure. If it is
Yeah,
a design.
yeah. It's very brutal, very graphic, brutal, unforgiving. It's a nightmare out there. And the only thing that keeps us acting anywhere near normal or nice is the emergence of intelligence, which will suggest to you that cooperation might work better than constantly trying to kill each other. That's what intelligence brings to the table. The concept that maybe cooperation is better than hostility. That's your only saving grace. Intelligence.
Yeah, I agree.
Because your natural inclination is very brutal. If you believe in evolution, you have to believe that we came from as early as a one-celled organism. That's how we started. And the only thing that thing could do is bump into something, decide to absorb it, process it, shit it out. This is what they did. No politics, no religion,
Why you believe that? Why you
no
believe that you
social.
can be?
That's the
I
way.
don't believe in theory of evolution always. That's also a
Well,
doubtful thing.
okay. All right, all right, all
And
right. You
now
don't.
we are again getting into the same shit.
But if you do believe in it, this is how it goes. You're a
It doesn't matter
one-celled
if you believe it or
organism.
not. It's the truth. You
You're
cannot.
you're a
How can
one-celled
you? It's a
organism.
truth. Listen, it's
What-
not ultimate truth. There are a lot of scientists still debate on it.
All right, I'm
There
trying
are
to tell you. I'm
like
trying to
I told
tell
you,
you.
one scientist, whatever they said, that doesn't mean anything. Without evidence, we have a lot of evidence, scientific evidence, peer-reviewed evidence for theory of evolution, and it's just the truth. It is the best
Let me. I just
explanation
want
we
to
have.
finish. I
yeah,
just
it's
want
a
to finish
best.
my
It's
point.
I can say that it's a best theory,
I just want to
but
finish my
yeah, it's a
point.
best theory.
Hold it. Hold it.
Yeah, go
Hold
ahead.
it. So what my point is that it's in your DNA. It's a normal chemical reaction to something outside your body as a one-celled organism. You're either going to eat it, run away from it, very basic actions. And this is in your DNA. Today, we exhibit those same things. Today, we're still doing the same shit. We're trying to absorb each other, trying to exploit each other. It's in your DNA. So the only thing that's going to change that is intelligence and analyzation and communication. Somebody tried to dismiss that earlier. That's not a good idea. This is your only hope, and the only real saving phenomenon is going to be technology. That's what's going to change everything, and that's linked with intelligence, obviously. So intelligence has to go through the roof to get a really better understanding how we can treat everybody. Everybody.
in a nice way,
Yeah. But
a
only
better version.
technology can give you that capability. Our
Yeah,
attitude,
technology is the future.
our attitude will not, because we came from a hostile beginning and we continue with it to this day. It's in our DNA. It's in there. It's what we do.
Yeah, technology
Our
is
only
technology is the future.
everybody's only first concern is their own well-being. That's every living thing's first concern, their own well-being. Fuck everything else. That's first, and that's a very hostile position to be in, because there's competition out there, there's exploitation out there, there's a whole lot of shit going on. So this is what we're up against. The only thing that's going to combat it is intelligence and technology. And they're going to be a
I
problem.
don't think so. I don't think so. Technology can be used in a both ways.
The technology will give you the capability to get things done correctly.
Yeah, but intelligence, I agree with the intelligence part, but I do not agree with the technology part.
Well, that's
Because
going to come
technology can be
automatically.
used, technology can used in a right way, and technology can be used in a wrong way.
That's exactly correct. That is exactly right. But that doesn't change anything. Technology will arrive. There is no stopping it. And yes, there will be the ongoing temptation of too many people to try and weaponize it. I get it. That's what we do. It's in our DNA. But hopefully, intelligence and the power of technology will save the day. But yes, we will be trying to weaponize it as it comes, because we're idiots. We're stupid like that.
I
Actually,
agree.
well, but that's just a silly way of saying it. Actually, it's in your DNA to only be concerned with your own well-being, and you will be aggressive about it. You will be, and that's in our DNA. It's not our fault. It's just reality. It's the only reason that you exist is because your biology is stubborn that way, and that's called natural selection. Is what that's called. The only thing that gets selected is what works. They don't give a shit how. There's a million ways to make it work. Look at the animal kingdom. You have animals with poison. You have animals with claws. Animals with teeth. Animals with speed.
Yeah, when you see about
Animals.
the designing,
Yeah.
this design is have had a very big flaw
Whatever
because
works.
everyone is trying. Yeah, yeah, everyone is trying to kill each other to get the top of the food chain.
Well, to eat. Never mind the top of the food chain. They just want to make sure they're always going to be able to eat.
Survive or survive.
Well,
You can say
however you
this.
want to say it. However you want to say it. Yeah, survive is good. And that's just the way. That's
Yeah,
our biology. We have no choice.
yeah. That's our biology. Actually, that's true point. That's why you see that a lot of we still have those animal instinct.
Yep.
People still have those animal instinct. You can see that.
Yep. So
That's why why people will like to see football, cricket, all those games because we have those animal instinct.
Okay. How about UFC fighting?
Same reason, guys. Why we love brutal things? There is no point in loving brutal things.
Well, you have to understand why the brutality and try to undo it.
Yeah, and that can be changed by like after that in the future we can change it.
Brutality
We can change.
only
If after
brutality. Listen. Brutality is only looking for satisfaction. That's all it's really looking for. So if you can
Yeah.
provide satisfaction, you can undo. the brutality.
Yeah. And that's it, the technology can do that in the future.
Yes. Everybody's just looking for satisfaction.
Yeah, technology can do that. After the quantum computer, you can change in the like if you have the quantum computer develop little bit, I think in 2050 you can already design the human babies. After that, in 90 or much more, it's the next generation is going to be starting what you call it soul. We have a good observation about what is soul, all those stuff. After the quantum computer comes to our world, it's gonna revolutionize the things we are doing. It's so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
So
think quantum
you
computer
also believe
revolution.
in souls.
What?
I don't believe in soul. Okay, I'm just saying this. All those things gonna be taken out by the science.
Shit, what time is it? Never mind.
I'm not believing soul or something like that. All the misconceptions and all those bullshit stuff, science will disappear. Science technologies can do that. So humanity has only one future. That is science
Science and
or
philosophy.
technology.
And philosophy. You
Science
need
and
the
tech
you need
and
the
technology.
wisdom to utilize the science that you are learning, the technology.
Intelligence.
Mother of science.
If you yeah,
Mother
what
of
is it?
Mother of science, philosophy.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you can't separate them. Science in and of itself uh, brings two blades, double-edged sword. Like he said, you could weaponize it or you can utilize it for everyone's benefit. And what will we do? Well, pretty much today, nobody's
weaponize it.
cooperating. We're going to weaponize
We
it.
are weaponizing it.
Yeah.
We are
So
Yeah,
already
people
doing
is
it.
going to be people are going to be finding a global dominance.
the best
Whoever
bet
make
the best bet is to keep a lid on hostility as much as you can. You're trying to buy time to get to the point where technology can offer you a much more enhanced capability to address everybody's concerns. And we're talking
yeah.
futuristic. This is not around the corner. So you're going to have to make it work for some number of years. But if you do, if you keep
Or our society will destroy himself. I believe
well,
that if people are
if you
not to
can
do that,
manage to not do that, technology will help you greatly if you just
yeah.
allow it to arrive, because that's all we do is look
Listen,
to
if you think
advance.
about this world, whoever going to make the first quantum computer, which is real quantum computer, and it's really gonna work, they're gonna start dominating the world.
Something like that. Yeah, the computer race is the atom bomb of the 1940s. The person that gets it, just like the atom bomb, whoever got that first was going to be in a position to subjugate the world. Okay, and the computer problem, the computer challenge, is the same thing. AGI, what is that? Artificial General Intelligence. When you have the type of computing power that can update and become more and more brilliant, nobody will ever catch you. If you get there first, nobody will ever catch you. And it's
Yeah.
it's a race that everyone should feel like they have to win.
Every country is actually racing right now to have
Yeah,
a quantum computer.
yeah,
I'm talking about the superpowers here.
yeah, and yeah. Everybody
Like
wants
whoever
super
have,
intelligence. Super
yeah,
intelligence.
yeah,
That's what you want.
yeah. If they have it, they will dominate the world. No question about it.
Well, they might dominate the world depending on who gets it, or they might
Yeah,
just help facilitate a better world for everybody.
because if the
Maybe
quantum
that'll
computer is
happen.
so powerful, it can decode any code in the world.
Yeah,
So no nuclear weapon is safe.
I want you to reconsider what you said. They don't have to dominate the world. They can also provide the world with a better way to be all for everybody. You don't have to be
I don't think so.
dominant. You don't have to abuse power. You don't have to. I realize
Do
we're
you really think?
inclined to.
Do you really think has Horatio that Horatio? Sorry, Horatio. Is it like Horatio? Your name is okay,
Horatio.
Horatio. Okay, Horatio. Okay, okay, Horatio. It's like this. Do you really believe that humans are this much intelligence? They will not think about dominance. They will
No,
think about
no,
cooperation.
no,
Do you
no,
think they are that much intelligence?
no. Your whole experience of reality is going to change in the future. You're not going to need to exploit people and physical resources to be some kind of something happy,
Yeah,
powerful.
that's the
You
problem of the food is gonna
I'm
change
gonna tell you,
by.
I know. I'm gonna tell you what has to happen. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Technology. Again, technology is the Messiah. It is the Messiah. We just need the wisdom to accept it properly. What it will do is provide a way to feed everybody on the planet, house everybody on the planet, and all of your basic needs are met in the physical world. And then you do
Yeah,
whatever
that
you
can
do.
technology can do. That's
Right.
technology can do because this.
The real chase after satisfaction actually has to happen in a virtual experience where you don't have to exploit anybody. You simply have to stimulate your brain for any experience that you want. That's going to be the future. You can't continue to exploit in the physical world. It's a one-way ticket to total destruction. It doesn't work. Doesn't add up.
But the problem of the food is gonna solve in the near future
Yes, it
because
will. It
we are
will.
because the problem is the once we understand the how photosynthesis, how the plants going
Well,
to how
yeah,
they
yeah,
make the food
yeah,
and all those stuff,
yeah.
we can replicate it with the plastic and all those stuff. We can replicate it.
It's just a formula. There are
Yeah,
certain nutrients that you need when you eat, and there are certain physical. Your biology is geared to put something physical down your throat and extract the nutrients from it. This is your
yeah.
biology. So I don't know
But
how radically we can change, but the point is,
no, we
it's
can change the. My
yeah.
point
All
is
right,
this.
all right.
Okay,
We're going to figure out how
okay.
to feed the whole world. We're going to figure that out. I'm not
No, no,
worried about
no. We
what we.
already have figured out because once
Okay,
we
you already
understand the
have.
process of once we understand that we actually we know the process of photosynthesis, but what we don't know how it actually do. We know basically, but how it works, we don't know that. That problem can be solved by the quantum computer. Once we solve that problem, we can replicate it with the non-living things. We don't need trees for that after that.
I don't need to hear every step of what's going to happen. The point.
Ah,
Look,
leave it that.
my theory is that
Mhm.
everyone's basic requirements are met perfectly. Their health, their sustenance, all of that. But if you really want excitement, you have to do it in a virtual experience. You can't
Yeah, I
continue.
understand. Yeah, I understand your point of view
That's
actually.
it.
And
That's it.
that, yeah, yeah, agreed, agreed. And
That's
there
going
is
to
a
be
lot
a
of
lot
things
of.
are actually a lot of things are coming. Like you are like if you want to run, suppose if you want to run in Switzerland, you can
Look,
just have turn on the.
if you look at the physical world, all we have to do is eliminate the necessity for exploitation and hurtful
Mhm.
actions. That's all. We have to just try to eliminate
Yeah,
that, and that's it. Yeah, you can keep everything else. I like competition. I
yeah.
like people showing off what they can do. I like all that. I just don't. I don't.
Actually, I agree with you,
I
Harrison.
want to see straight out hostility for the purposes of dominance and exploitation. I want that eliminated. And we can do that through technology and a virtual experience to satisfy all of your crazy inclinations, including therapy. The brain is going to be the focus in the future. The brain, all roads lead to the brain. So all of your experience will be enhanced by a more technological approach to your experience and how the brain receives it. You don't need to do it in the physical world. You don't need to do it. You don't need to keep exploiting people to get something out of them. You don't. All you need is sustenance and any experience you want in a virtual world. Any experience.
You can have individual. Yeah, you can have in a virtual world because because we have an experience because of the sensations. If we able to manipulate the sensations, you can have any experience.
Yep. You can have all that. So in the
Yeah,
physical
yeah.
world, I don't care if nothing changes other than eliminating, malice and hostility and exploitation, because there is nothing to gain from dominating somebody in the physical world that you can't have in your virtual experience. Your virtual experience will always be better than anything that you can manage to do in the
In
physical world.
real physical
Yeah,
world. Yeah,
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So you
Because you
don't
will
need
have
to
a
hurt.
lot of
So
different
you no
sensations, and
longer.
yeah.
So you're right. So you no longer need to hurt anybody. So now it's just a matter of cooperation and fun. It's just going to be fun for everybody. That's all. That's an
Yeah.
overstatement, but you know what I mean.
Actually, I totally agree with these points. Technology is the future,
Yep.
and the world will be much better place after that.
Well, the kind of noise I'm making is, I don't know how far off, but we have to manage to not self destruct in the meantime. That's our challenge. We have enough weaponry to take the world down, and we don't want that. We've come too far to fuck it all up.
We are actually dumb people. We already have the weapons of destruction. We can destroy each other in a blink of second.
Yeah. But no, really, nobody wants that, except you got to worry about the fanatics, and that's where religion takes a beating. Too many religions emphasize the importance of the afterlife. This life doesn't really matter. You're here.
Yeah, that's the problem. People need
And
to fix it.
yeah, you need to have those fucking people silenced because they're dangerous. They're fucked up.
Yeah, they believe this is not a real life. The real life is
Well,
start after you die.
they don't regard your well-being in this life. All they regard in this life is their ticket to heaven. That's all they regard. Everything else
And
is
that's a problematic stuff.
it's just stupid. So it's not a good thing. These are
Yeah,
the kind of people that don't mind seeing a world war and everybody dies. They don't mind. They don't mind because they were
yeah, they
doing
are
the right
fanatic.
thing. They were doing the right thing in their religion. Now they're going to heaven. They're okay with that. See,
Yeah,
and
those are crazy
that's
people.
dangerous.
I do not understand those crazy people.
Well, that's what
Leave it.
happens when you're.
There are so many fanatic like that.
That's what happens when you have a God belief that it includes doctrine, dogma, and rules and regulations and judgments and this and that, and it just
I'm not
goes on
talking
and
about
on.
God belief is doesn't says that you should believe or you have intelligence, use your intelligence. Where is the intelligence part goes?
Look, there people need assistance in dealing with being alive. Being alive is much, much bigger than any one of us. So everyone automatically looks for assistance. And the easiest road to assistance is to create a God who can do anything. Sounds good to me. Let's make that up. That should work. Could do anything. That's what we do. We look for assistance.
Wow, you are a much smart person, for sure. World will be a better place if people like you exist.
I think we're all doing a good job if we just pay attention.
No, I've seen a lot of people there all the time doing bullshit stuff.
Well, those are the people you have to reach. You have to bring a perspective to them that they can relate to, and it's not going to be easy because
Horusha, I have a question for you, Horusha. Some people believe that this world is not even real.
well,
It's a test. It's a
yeah,
test that you are giving.
nonsense. It's nonsense. First of
And
all,
how can you change those people? It's how can you change it?
well, you can start by correcting them. For one thing, it's not a test. It's not a fair test because nobody gets the same test. If you're going to talk test, you have to think about how they do it in school. In school, everybody in the class gets the same exact test. That's not the way it works in life. So don't tell me it's a test because it's not. It's not standardized. It's different for everybody. So already you can't use that word. You can't use that word as far as I'm concerned. And so I
Yeah, who will tell them?
right
Who
away.
will tell them?
Well, you got to correct them. It's not a test, dude. This is not a standardized test. Everybody's.
Horusha, did you able to change anyone? Did you able to change anyone?
You can't worry about that. All you do is bring what you think is the truth, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to worry about what you accomplish. It will do what it does. That's all.
Oh yeah, that's also a better philosophy.
There it is. I just wanted to get my idiotic theory about the future, virtual experience, brain manipulation, all that good stuff. Very vast topic, a lot of considerations to make. It's crazy. Well, because you can impose certain things once you're once you're influencing the brain. Everything is. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. The same thing with messing around with our DNA. Got to be careful. Got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, actually, that's true. That's why technology comes with this, that you have intelligence to use that technology or not.
Right.
Like the same thing, nuclear power, something like we have a biggest development is nuclear power. It can be used in a right way, but it's mostly we have the weapons which is used in a wrong way. Actually, nuclear energy is the best source of energy, but we are not using in a right direction.
Nuclear
energy.
You mean fission?
No, I'm talking about fusion. We can. We are talking
fusion.
Fusion.
Yeah, that would
like
be a
fusion.
better. That would be a better way.
Yeah, nuclear energy is the best energy if we master the fusion. But like we already we already made the hydrogen bomb. Wow, the great people. We actually understand how fusion work, and we made a bomb.
Now wait a second. There's two different kinds. There's fission and fusion.
Fusion. I'm talking about fusion. Fusion is
that's where you combine the atoms together.
Combine the atom and you will get energy. And fission where you break it and you get the energy. Split, yeah. Split it and you get the energy.
The bomb is made from fission.
No. It's a nuclear bomb. Like a nuclear bomb is made of fission, but the hydrogen bomb, which is more stronger than that,
Yeah.
it's made of fusion.
You're kidding me. It works
Yeah,
on
we are.
fusion. I didn't know that. Are you
Yeah,
sure? Are you sure?
yeah. That's why. Yeah. That's why we need to use first nuclear bomb. Then after that, we can use the hydrogen bomb because we need the temperature to fusion.
Let me see.
Uh, Check it out. Hydrogen bomb. Okay, wait a second. If you can answer it by the AI, which no, not ask a hydrogen bomb works on a philosophy.
Let me see. While the atomic bombs built during use the
Lead
principle
this.
of nuclear fission.
You
Wait a
lead
second.
it.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. I got it right in front of me. The thermonuclear or hydrogen bomb was based upon nuclear fusion. How do you like that? I didn't know that. Wow, geez. You achieved.
So we already achieved this, and we already know the principle. But what we did, we made a bomb first,
That's
and we don't know how.
crazy. I didn't
So
know
it's
that. That's interesting.
you don't know that.
Wow. I didn't fucking know that. Wow. Hydrogen bomb works on fusion. Holy shit. And that's a much more powerful bomb, right?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. So they
That's the
can
point, you
achieve,
know.
yeah, they can achieve fusion very briefly. Even, they're
Uh,
trying to
Actually,
create,
fusion is actually already achieved. We can use
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Americans are already achieved the technology, but in the future you will see the fusion reactors.
Yeah, yeah. We've achieved it, but to only a very small extent, not a practical
Yeah,
extent.
we achieved it and we made a bomb.
All right, but the bomb is a very instantaneous occurrence. I get it, but after it's done, it's done. We're talking about generating to
Yeah,
power.
technology. Yeah, I'm talking about the technology is actually Americans. If you go, Americans actually develop this technology now.
But
But
you need to power a city, a country with power,
yeah,
and that we have not achieved yet with fusion. Is all I'm saying.
we no. I'm saying this. If you read about it, Americans have the technology now, but they need to create it in a bigger version. It will take time. You will see the reactors will become after in 2040 you will have nuclear fusion reactors. It is estimated,
In
or it can
2040,
be if it
2040, about somewhere in there.
yeah 2040 you can have nuclear fusion, and that's good.
That's the prediction.
It's an estimated time, and people are making 2040, but it can also be achieved in 2035 because we just have to remodel the small model into big model.
Yeah, well, easier said than done.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I know.
They're gonna be difficult.
I read the articles about how they were getting better at nuclear fusion, but as
Mhm.
far as a practical scale, they have not achieved that.
Yet they're not achieved that, but it is
It
estimated
takes
time
more.
35.
It takes more energy to create or maybe they got it to the point. I think they got it to where the energy created by
No,
creating fusion was actually more than the energy it took to create it. So they actually got a positive reading on it, but it's very slight. It's very slight. Do you follow me? There's a certain amount of energy you need to create fusion. So the fusion that you create has to give you more energy than what you put in to be of value to you, right? To be of any value. And I think we managed to get more energy out of creating fusion than we put into it. I think we're on the plus side, but it's not enough to become practical, or like you say, they have to scale up and make it bigger. But the cost, I think, is still not favorable. You still need too much energy to create fusion. So you're not saving anything. All right. I think that's what the deal is. Oh, Lordy Lou. Oh, look, it's Moni. Hi, Moni. Hello, Moni.
Hey, Horatio, how are you?
What's up, Mo?
Not much, just listening your explanation and your knowledge really.
Yeah, we're going to change your name from Moni to Mon Ami.
Monani. Why Monani?
Mon Ami.
What does that mean?
I think that means my friends in French.
Oh, Monani.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Let me see.
I joined very late and I missed a
Oh, it means my
big
friend. But
part.
I think it's plural, but I don't know. It says my friend. Mon ami. I thought it was plural. Maybe not. I guess not. What is the meaning of mon ami? French, my friend. Okay.
You can speak French as well?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know like some basic phrases.
No, I don't know anything in French.
How do you know that Monani is my friend
Yeah,
in French?
well, everybody's heard somebody say mon ami, when anytime you get a French person, celebrity or something, you know. I live in America. We are subject to these sorts of experiences.
Uh-huh.
I've heard a Frenchman say mon ami. Who's the guy that's saying, let's see, Charles Boyer? No. Um, hey, what's up, dog?
What's the topic?
Nothing at the moment. We're just.
Oh, you just started.
Well, no. We had a long discussion on why somebody is theorizing that there is a God, a creator God.
Oh, it's called brainwashing.
Well, he wasn't making it a religious God, just a creator God. And
Same thing.
I told him, yeah, you're still on the wrong track introducing that idea. Let's see.
But this topic is interesting. People just express their views.
But have we got any people to talk to about that though?
Oh, Maurice Chevalier. That's who I was trying to think of. Have you ever heard of him, Moni?
Oh, sorry?
Have you ever heard of Maurice Chevalier?
Maurice Chevalier, no.
No. Yeah, he was on American TV for a little while, making appearances. Charming fellow.
What does he talk about?
He sings a song, "Every Little Breeze Seems to Whisper Louise." That was his song. I'm sure I confused you just about now. Sorry. Yeah. And then I introduced my futuristic concept about virtual reality. We had that discussion.
Virtual
The,
reality.
what's going to save the fucking world has to be technology. You agree, right, Bulldog? Technology is the only way to save everything.
No, no,
Now,
that's
what's going to
that's
save it? What's
not
going to
true.
save everything?
But
Nothing.
should be used intelligently.
So you're not optimistic at all.
No, not not because I've seen videos and I disagree with that.
Disagree with what?
Technology saving the world.
Okay. Well, is there anything that will help us to enter the future?
No, I've come up with nothing. I looked and I can't find anything.
Okay.
Well, technology is not going to save the world. It's going to create a lot of problems, but hey, it'll try. Don't get me wrong. I like technology. Like I like cars and TVs and bullshit things like that, and that's technology. But it's not going to save the world. It's going to, if anything, it might even speed things up and destroy the world.
Well, yeah. Until it actually changes us, it will be weaponized and
There you
used.
go. You said the magic word. It's going to be weaponized. And that's the
Right.
problem.
Yeah. We recognize that reality. I
It's
recognize
already being weaponized right now as we speak.
somehow you want to keep a lid on self-destruction and wait
can't.
for the Messiah. The Messiah is technology. That's what's embodied in the religious themes. Somebody is going to come and make everything okay. Well, I'm using the same expectations. Something's going to come and make everything okay.
Well, what is it then?
Technology.
No, it's not.
People say that is avatar. Somebody would come and
People say what?
someday the God will come on earth and
Oh yeah, well fuck that noise.
correct everything.
Yeah, well that's just nonsense.
You've heard cosmologists talk about, like looking for alien life and maybe that they destroyed themselves through technology. You've heard that saying that.
Of course.
Well, that's also a possibility that they came and they went and they destroyed themselves, and that's why we can't find them.
Yeah. That might be the destiny that we're condemned to due to our idiotically aggressive biology. Yeah.
But
that
biology is going to be on every planet, and if they've got to that stage and they've been there and done it, they might have done it 10,000 years ago. And 10,000 years ago in the universe is a blink of an eye.
The only thing to combat the inclinations of biology is intelligence. That's our only weapon, and even that can be weaponized.
That weapon, what you keep talking about, is the one that destroys them.
Well, even that can be weaponized.
It's getting weaponized right now.
I get it. We were already talking about that.
You can't say it's going to save you when you and then keep double backing down and going, oh, but it's going to save us. No, it's going to destroy us.
Well, we've had the capacity to destroy each other for a while now, and we have not. So that proves there is a chance that people are more sensible than bringing the world to an end. The only ones I don't trust are the religious people who think they're going to go to heaven just as soon as all this shit is over with. Those are the motherfuckers I worry about. Because Russia, which is probably more secular than anything, they could have ended everything a long time ago, back in 1950s.
Yeah, but see, like Russia and Ukraine are both secular, and they're going at it.
That's a much more narrow skirmish of nonsense. I'm talking about world destruction.
Yeah, but when Russia fights them, let's just say they win, right? They're not going to, but let's just pretend, right? Then they'll pick on someone else.
Okay, what's your point?
Resources. They want more and more resources.
Right. That's what technology needs to solve. The problem of resources, the problem of having to exploit to maintain. That's what has to be solved.
Religion is just another thing that they're going to fight over, but at the end of the day, they're going to fight over resources.
Yeah, well, that has to be addressed.
Everything runs out sooner or later.
Yeah.
That's what technology is going to do, is destroy civilizations.
Actually, it's going to find a way to sustain the resources that we need for our physical well-being.
At the moment, it's not.
No, at the moment, we're doing what we do. You don't have the wisdom or the technology.
That's right.
You don't have the technology to see a difference in anything. So it's game on until we do, until technology is good enough to solve problems. Until then, it's the same old game.
Resources are going to get less and less as time goes on.
Yep.
We're going to run out of fossil fuels. We're going to run out of fucking gas. Food's going to be less and less. Just keep
Water.
going on.
Yeah. Well, that's the challenge of what technology has to solve.
Well, that's your job for the next weekend, to work it out how to do it. That's your job. You'll get a Nobel Prize for it, and everybody will be happy. And you've done something for society.
Yeah, no, it won't be me, but it'll be your scientists, and that's the community that I'm hoping will pull us through.
No, I don't think it will.
Well, that's our only hope.
I've seen too many videos. It's just going to get worse and worse. It's already started. Even the godfather of AI says it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, it's a dangerous road.
He said, he was in an interview, and he said, well, he's been working on this for 50 years. And, he said, in his own words, he says, 20, 30 years ago, you couldn't convince me otherwise, but now I've come to realize it's gonna be really bad.
What, the future?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he goes on and lists fucking all of these things what AI is gonna fucking fuck us over with. And I went, yeah, oh shit, I didn't think of that. And next one and next one.
Well,
yeah, no, the technology you keep talking about, it's not going to save us.
You have to have a certain amount of faith in.
Oh wow!
The expert judgment. The expert judgment.
That's not going to help.
The expert judgments of the more superior brains in the world. Hopefully, they will pull us through.
No, that's what he's saying. Won't.
Well, that's what he's saying. So that's all he's doing is saying something.
Well, hey, listen, he's the godfather of AI. I think he knows a little bit more than you and me.
He knows the capabilities.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He said it
but
won't. It's not going
it's,
to.
it's capable of this and that. It depends on our choice, and I'm hoping that the
No, it'll
superior
be AI's
brains pull us
choice, and
through.
the people who are behind the fucking evil deeds.
So, in other words, you can't build an AI without it turning on you. Is that the problem? Is that what's going to be the problem?
No, people will get their fucking AI, and they'll turn it on you as a
Yeah, they'll
normal person.
weaponize it. They'll weaponize it. I get it. I
There
guess.
you go. You're agreeing with me now, so it's not the future.
No.